the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
What up? This Cam, man. Kyle is he on the plane on the way to the tank fight, so he told me he wanted me to get it going for I'm gonna be here for y'all. I got DB. I'll be back in a sec. DJ standby. So yeah, I'm gonna get the MMA for Dummies going for y'all. If y'all wanna get on and talk until then, but we're gonna keep it rocking. Salute, Rob G. Salute Kevin. Mir in the building, Dion. What's going on? Big Texas. How the sound? I'm outside right now. How the sound? Sound cool? Sound check. Yes, sir, Rob Brown. We're gonna do what we do, man. Only good fight this weekend is another Kayla Harrison Marlon.
Am I on?
Yeah, you on here? What up, Deuce?
Whooping and swooping, man. Come and talk about my Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Putting
Yeah,
it down again, like I told everybody before.
man, go ahead, get your shit off, man.
Who is this?
This Cam.
Oh, okay, what's up, folks? Nah, shit, man. He's coming representing once again. Like I told everybody, Project Pat was gonna mob out Booker, and we was gonna hold Chris Paul down, and everybody came back together, gang rebounding, putting the body on Aiden so he can't use all that athleticism, and we right back in this thing. We cracked the code, bro. We should win 4 straight right here. Clippers putting it down. H Money in the building. What's up, homeboy? Keep pushing the line. I idolize you, homie.
Man, that nigga H Money be going crazy.
Uh,
That nigga be going crazy. He having niggas tight.
Hell yeah, niggas be old. That nigga H Money gonna need a bulletproof vest. He gonna need a bulletproof card. I ain't got shit to say, man. I just hopped on, seen they out there in Atlanta, ain't they?
Yeah, he on the plane right now. I dropped him off at the airport. This nigga told me, man, just start the show tonight. I'm like, all right.
Hell, why not, man? Shit, we out here thugging.
Yeah. So DB and DJ should be on later, and then it's gonna really get going. But till then, anybody can hop on.
Oh, I had to hop on here and do my Clippers shit, man. Niggas out here on Tuesday, niggas was laughing and smiling and rejoicing. I'm like, man, what's up with all the cheerfulness when we lose? But you know what I'm saying? And we win, niggas is
Man, hold on,
quiet as hell. What's up?
Oh.
Yeah, we doing our thing, man. Paul George redeemed himself. Playoff P is in the building. Project Pat, Big Shot Reggie, and we doing our thing.
Reggie Dak was going crazy though. I ain't gonna lie.
He been going crazy all playoffs, man.
Yeah.
It's all good out here, homie. Keeping it real with you.
I don't know though. It's a long series, but that campaign injury cost him.
Man, campaign wasn't gonna play anyway. Chris Paul back.
I don't know. He been hooping too.
Nigga ain't been hooping, man. They forgot he was left-handed. Look at that nigga go to the left. we slowed that shit down though.
Rob Brown, Kawhi coming back?
Nah, Kawhi done for the year, man. Kawhi done for the year.
It's over.
No, it ain't over. We got practice without playing without Kawhi. We doing our thing.
DJ, what it do, man?
What's going on, man? How we feeling tonight?
It's all good. Shit, you gonna
is that Deuce in here beating his chest after that game 3 win?
Yeah, I'm standing tall, win or lose, baby. We out here.
I hear you, man. Them boys was playing bullet ball tonight.
Finally, man, soft ass sons. Project Pat was out there digging niggas out. You know what I mean?
I gotta give Pat Bev his credit, man. I mean, him and Devin Booker and Chris Paul, they look too good in game 2 and 3. So, you know,
yeah,
and they giving a lot of credit to him. So, you know,
he deserved it.
I just think they went cold at the wrong time.
No, we made them cold. We put them niggas in the freezer.
I feel you. I'd say that too if I was a Clipper fan right now.
It's the only way you can see it, man. He's making those same shots against Rondo and T-Man in game 1. Game 2 and 3, he been shut down. He did the same. Project Pat did the same thing to Donovan Mitchell.
I can't really say that because Donovan Mitchell was still getting 30
on 30 shots. Project Pat didn't play the first 2 games. We put Project Pat in. He shut it down.
People didn't really give Gary Payton his credit for shutting Jordan down in the finals in '96 either, because Jordan was still getting 25 and 27 points. But nobody looked at Jordan was like 7 for 22 and 5 for 19 from the field, and nobody really paid attention to that.
Because those were average shooting percentages back in the 90s. Those dudes missed.
What, 7 for 22, 5 for 19?
Yeah, that's good.
You can't listen to this dude, DJ.
Man,
In
He
the
had me
90s, that
though.
was
The
good to
Clippers
see.
pulled it up. I watched him on the plane. The
with a
Clippers pulled
bad
him up.
calf,
Pulled it
with
up.
a bad calf. Like I remember that. I was like 7, 8 years old, bro. He shut Jordan down with a bad calf. But Jordan was
Oh,
getting
yeah.
them superstar calls. You go and look at his free throws, and Jordan was shooting 13 or 15 from the line.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I was watching that.
Yeah,
I was
so
watching that. Gary Payton, my favorite basketball player ever. I learned how to play
DP,
basketball from
you
Gary
like the
Payton.
glove?
That's my favorite basketball player ever.
That shit, could the glove play in this day and age?
Town
Hell
business.
yeah.
Town business.
town business.
Hey
Listen,
man,
Really?
this room ain't bad, DJ.
I hear you, man.
It ain't bad. I just got here about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think Kyle in the air right now. I think his flight
Yeah,
just
Kyle in
took
the
off.
air. Yeah, Kyle in the air. What's gonna wind up happening? He had a layover in Miami. So what's gonna wind up happening is I'm just gonna leave a key at the front desk for him, so he can just come on in because I'll probably be at the weigh-in by the time he gets here.
I don't understand that about travel. Now, when I took the train, like I got it because the train track is the train track. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's got to go a certain way. But I don't understand that. How the hell are y'all gonna pass Atlanta
To go to Miami and then come back?
to
Yeah,
go
that makes no
to
sense.
Miami, then come back?
My daughter did the same thing. Look, my daughter's flight left at 11, right? This morning.
Right.
Guess what time she got to Atlanta?
What time?
She got to Atlanta 10 minutes before me.
And she left when at 11?
At 11 this morning.
How many stops did she have? Because
She had to go to Miami, lay over, and then come to Atlanta.
that's crazy. So Dallas, so Dallas and New Orleans ain't none of that open. They couldn't stop
No,
there.
they had to go to Atlanta. They had to go to Miami. I don't know what the fuck Delta's doing, but I see what happened. See, I think the difference is this, bro. I bought my ticket. I bought my plane ticket. This is June. I bought my plane ticket in April,
Got it.
and I got a round trip. So I just came straight here, and I'm leaving straight here Sunday morning and going straight back.
Wow. Because when I took that train to Vegas, it took us, I think, 15 hours, I want to say.
Dang, yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
Yeah.
From your home, from Alabama?
From Vegas, from here.
Wow. 15 hours? That's good. That's good time. It was rolling.
Yeah. We had to go to New Orleans and then up to St. Louis. I was like, oh my God. I won't do that shit again. I won't do that again. Because I'm not going to fly, man. I'm scared of heights. I can't do plane.
Oh, wow. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, my wife's family is from Illinois. And every year I do that 10-hour drive. I am not flying.
That's crazy. I was on that motherfucker today. Hey, Deuce, you know they got ESPN on the plane now, Deuce.
Where'd he go?
Deuce Times.
If he's talking, you on mute, bro.
Yeah, they got ESPN on the plane. That shit fucked me up. I know they had ESPN on planes. They got movies, all kind of shit, but it's a 4-hour flight, so they gotta give you something, right?
Yeah, they got that direct TV on what's that? Southwest?
Yeah, Southwest Spirit. Yeah, they got direct TV on that motherfucker.
You flew Southwest?
Huh?
You flew Southwest?
No, I flew Delta.
Delta.
Yeah, I flew Delta.
Okay.
Man, I got to LAX. My flight didn't leave till 5:40. I got to LAX at 2:15. I didn't get upstairs till 4:00. I was like, oh my God.
And I also think that was part of Kyle's problem too. I think he flew out of Oakland.
Oh yeah, that TSA is a motherfucker, man. You take your shoes off, all kind of shit.
Yeah, man. Like I told you,
Taylor Bell, what's happening, man? Yeah, man. So I'm up here. Like I say, I'm gonna leave a keep him. Guess where Centos flying up? Guess where he's staying at?
Where?
Right down the hall from me. Is that a bitch?
Wow. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Man.
But he ain't coming till Saturday.
Hold on, let me look up y'all hotel.
The American, yeah. The American. Over here on Ted Turner Drive, 160 Ted Turner Drive. Shit, man, I ain't been down here. Last time I was down here was not 86.
Really?
Yeah, I was at Fort Benning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was in Columbus. Yeah. Columbus,
yeah. Out there in the country.
Yeah.
That's all
that
Columbus
mirror.
is.
Look at that nigga mirror. That nigga mirror said Kyle flew Spirit. He on the soul plane.
That's fucked up, man.
Hey, so our bet still stands, right, DJ?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Okay. If when Barrios knocks him out, I want 10 lemon pepper and 10 original hot.
I just want my lemon pepper, man, dry. I want them dry.
I want them dry.
That's how you feeling OG Sheldon?
Huh?
And Barrios gonna get him out of there?
Barrios gonna stop him.
He been talking that crazy talk for
since the fight got announced. Right?
Been talking crazy like that since the fight got announced, man. I ain't worried.
What's good with you boys?
What's up with you, brother?
Oh, Sheldon, your girl fighting this weekend, man.
Who?
Kayla Harrison.
Oh yeah, I know. She fighting tomorrow. I'm gonna watch that. People, I got some people out here. They might come get me tomorrow at 5 or 6. I think Vicky get off at 9. I think she get off at 9, so it'll probably be late. I can watch the fight. I'll watch the Kayla Harrison fight. She gonna smash whoever she fighting though.
I'm gonna see. That's what I was just about to say. Now the lady that she's fighting, I think she'll win. But she is a good kickboxer. She's one of those big Belgian kickboxers, Cindy Dandois.
She's really kind of up there.
Yeah,
she kind of up there with Jermaine Durandamy on that level, right?
Yeah, she come from that. She come from that kind of pedigree of kickboxing.
Yeah.
Now her grappling ain't that great.
Yeah.
Well, you know Kayla Harrison, all she wants to get her hands on you.
Kickboxer.
Oh, you know Kayla Harrison, all she wants to do is get her hands on you. Once she get her hands on you, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. She's like a crocodile or an alligator, man. Once them jaws clamp shut, that's pretty much your ass.
Hey man, but they say this card. I looked at the flyer today, man. The fucking doors open at 5, bro.
5 Eastern, yeah, man. See, that's shit.
There's gonna be some fights on that motherfucker. I'm talking about like maybe 10, 11 fights.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like all of them, damn 8 and 10 rounds.
Yeah, because Tank ain't gonna hit the ring till like 10, 30, 11.
Yeah, see, the doors open at 5, so probably the first fight gonna start around 6. So yeah, you right. You all right.
Yeah, Tank ain't gonna hit the ring till like 10, 30, 11. Depending on how long these fights go, though. Somebody might get knocked the fuck out in the first round.
But even then, it's on Showtime, so they gotta fill in some time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, DB, I gotta find out well, you can feel me. What's happening in MMA? Oh, I just saw something that fucked me up, DJ.
What's that?
Poirier and motherfucking McGregor is fighting again?
Yeah.
Man, you know that. They pretty much announced that fight right after the last one happened in January.
They can get more traction out of that bullshit. Poirier gonna beat his ass again.
Poirier said he want to do it one more time. And he said he wanted to do it one more time, man, just to close the series on it. I think he should be fighting for the title, but he ain't too eager to get a title shot right now because he's one of those guys who's been around for a while, and he just wants he wants quote unquote money fights, doing that money fight talk now instead of just becoming the champion.
Because you got to think he fought Khabib, he fought Khabib for a title. He like come on, bro, you know what's going on with Khabib. So
yeah.
Poirier, I've been fucking with Poirier since he had a shaved head. You feel me? That's my nigga. So
yeah. The cage.
He deserve all of this. Yeah, he deserve all of this. I've been fucking with a lot of these niggas. It's like Strikeforce and shit, and PFL and shit. So for Poirier to go, I'm like, hell yeah, you do a trilogy with Conor McGregor. It's kind of fucking McGregor.
Yeah, that's money. That's paper.
Who else would you play with in that weight class?
But can they get more traction out of that shit? Is what I'm saying. You think that shit will sell?
Yeah,
it's kind of better sell.
I just looked at the car. I was just talking to Cam about the car right now. You got Sean O'Malley on the car, and you got
Gilbert Burns. It's an amazing card. It's an amazing card.
Okay.
So it's a dope.
You got Greg Hardy on the card. So
Greg Hardy fighting Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger. Somebody going to sleep.
Somebody
That
going
fight,
knocking out.
that fight might last a round and a half.
Yeah,
And you know what? I am really surprised at Greg Hardy, though. Greg Hardy is doing very well for himself.
Yeah, he's an accomplished athlete. I ain't think he'd suck at it.
Right.
I thought he was going to get in there and be like,
great camp to go to.
This might be before your time, DJ. I thought he was going to do a Too Tall Jones. And Too Tall Jones, who played for the Cowboys, decided he wanted to box.
Yeah, because he was hella big and he thought it could translate over.
Yeah, until he got up in there.
Yeah,
just like that wide receiver, that wide receiver who's gonna try to do kickboxing or MMA. What was his name?
Brandon
light skinned cat. Light skinned cat, man. Back in the 90s, dog. Man, trying to remember.
Miles Austin?
No, not Miles Austin. Johnny Morton.
Oh yeah, Johnny.
Are you serious?
Used to play.
Johnny Morton from USC.
Yeah.
USC,
He tried
Johnny
to.
Morton?
But you know what?
It's some flips out there. I think it was either boxing or kickboxing. He got knocked out in.
Herschel Walker did that shit at 50 and was winning fights.
Yeah, I think Herschel Walker still sitting at 2-0.
Herschel Walker's a
What's up,
monster.
DB? How you feeling tonight, man?
Boy.
DB, you here?
Yeah, what's up, gentlemen? How y'all feeling?
All right, man. Just touched down, getting my jet lag off.
Yeah, man. Glad y'all made it safely, man. Glad you made it safely, cuzzo.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. So give us the skinny, man. I hear this. I saw that Poirier shit when I was on the plane. I was like, what? They gonna fight again?
Oh yeah.
That fight's gonna happen. Still a couple of weeks for that fight, but I believe that Dustin Poirier has enough confidence now. The first time he fought Conor, the fight was finished pretty quickly. It was finished in the first round. He got hit on the top of the head. It was just, it was a weird kind of punch, but Conor just caught him in the right spot, in the soft spot, and took him down. He didn't knock him out clean, but he took him down. And Poirier didn't get a chance to fight him. So in the second fight, Poirier actually got a chance to fight him. He got a chance to put his hands on him. He got a chance to kick him a bit, and saw that Conor usually starts to, kind of weather away and doesn't have great cardio. I don't know what it is with Conor, but he can't go hard past 3 rounds. So when he's a main event now, it's different from when he first fought, when he had 3 rounds where he can go hardcore for 2 rounds, and in the third round, even if he was getting tired, the fight would be over, like the Chad Mendez fight, so to speak. But
right.
Now,
I got you.
That's a good example, yo.
Yeah, but now fighting against Poirier, who's in a big gym, got a great camp, got great coaches. He made a decent amount of money, so we're to fly guys out, extra guys, to get the gym to himself, to have the nutritionist and the dietitian, and do all of the therapy and the recovery, and do everything that he needs to do as a pro fighter. So does Conor, of course, but Dustin Poirier didn't have the same confidence that Conor has now that he's got that victory over him, and he had a good fight with Khabib, and then he beat Justin Gaethje and beat a lot of other, Eddie Alvarez. He had good fights with those guys and beat some top guys. His confidence right now is probably high as it's ever been, and he found 2 things. One thing is that Conor don't like to get kicked, and Conor don't like to wrestle. Conor wanted to box. He want to have an out kickboxing match, or he wants to box. And if you put some feet to his legs, he starts to, he starts to let you see it, and he'll get weathered really quickly. And if you put your hands on him and you can take him down where he can't get up for a while, that'll also zap some of his energy. So I think that if Poirier doesn't get in there and get too emotionally involved in the fight, and just go in there and just kick him a few times, punch a little bit, and then try to take him down, I think he'll find success. But as DJ knows, I don't like the rock'em sock'em robot style, and Conor McGregor is fast, and he does have a heavy left hand. So if Dustin Poirier does what he usually does, trying to put on a show for the fans, so to speak. That's the chronic, huh? Then he'll probably end up getting touched by Conor and he'll fall. So he just got to stay smart. As long as he stays smart, man, I think he can win the fight, and I think he can finish the fight. And of course, when Conor McGregor is on there, Dana White will not let that star power die. So, he wants to make sure that people are tuned in and have a good card. So he'll put the biggest names on the card or the flashiest people on the card. So whenever Conor's on the marquee, there's always going to be a bunch of highlight fights that'll be there. The co-main event, the co-co, and then everything that's on the main card. It'll always be something that's pretty good because it'll be televised. But yeah, man, I think he can pull it through, and hopefully he can, because if Conor wins and it just kind of dilutes the division, and what I mean by that is there's not a lot of other fights that's there for the rest of the division. If Conor wins this fight, they're probably going to put him in a title fight, which I don't think that he can beat the champion now, Charles Oliveira. But in the case that he did beat him, we're going to go through the same sort of shit that's happening in boxing. There's going to be one guy holding the belt. He's going to be calling shots, saying, you need to fight this person. And I don't want to turn MMA into boxing. That's the part of boxing I don't like, when everybody starts to play the politics and being matchmaker. Just get the fucking belt, fight who you need to fight, stay active, fight a couple of times a year, and keep the division moving. Keep the fans happy. And also, every time you fight, you're going to get a paycheck. So, yeah, that's what I believe. DJ, what you think about that fight, man? Who you got?
I believe we spoke about this before. I'm going to take Poirier in this fight simply because I think Conor's maxed out. And what I mean by that is I believe we've seen the best Conor that it can possibly be out there. I believe the best Conor that we saw, and that can't get no better than that, was when he fought Eddie Alvarez. I believe we've seen the best Conor. I don't think we've seen the best Dustin Poirier yet. And I believe this quick turnaround after getting knocked out in January is not going to help Conor at all. I don't think he's fully healed from that. And I expect this fight to end in the first round. I really do. Conor's still not going to change his stance. He's still going to have that wide karate stance. Dustin Poirier's still going to throw those low calf kicks. I wonder if Conor's going to actually start trying to check him earlier than what he did in the first fight. But I just don't see any way Conor can win this fight outside of catching him. Outside of catching him with that left hand. I mean, I hadn't seen a champion fall this fast in a while. Probably since Anthony Pettis. And I don't know where Conor goes from here after he loses. Probably a third Nate Diaz fight, which I would love to see, as I spoke on before. But yeah, man, I got Dustin Poirier in that fight. Easy stoppage. Because as Dustin said in the last fight, about halfway through the first round, he got his timing. He has his timing now. And this is the third time he's fighting him. He knows how strong Conor is. He knows his timing. I think Conor's going to sleep in the first round.
Yeah, and OG Sheldon, man, I can't see. There's somebody else that's there too. But the banner's in the way.
Ashandas, that's my boy Ashandas right there.
Oh yeah, I'm in his thing. Oh yeah,
Peace, brother Woods. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, please do.
My brother, how about yourself? Nah, like Cam will tell y'all, I'm a huge ass Poirier fan. I've been fucking with him since way back in the G. I was just saying that. But I think a huge thing for Poirier right now, he's healthy. When he was fighting those fights, he had a bad hip. And he was always saying that, like, yeah, my hips hurt. I can't, my bad. He's like, I can't practice my jiu-jitsu like I want to. I can't really train how I want to, because he was hurt. I think he had a hurt shoulder and a hurt hip. So I think it was after the Khabib fight, he was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to just sit back, and I'm going to do everything. So everything that brother just came in and said, coupled with him being healthy and 100% now, he might be the only one in the division that probably got a chance to beat Oliveira. Because Oliveira is actually nice as fuck. I ain't even going to lie. So I like him too in the division. So it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to have Poirier finish McGregor. He going to fight Oliveira. And honestly, that fight can go either way because Poirier probably want to roll on the ground with this nigga at the end of the day. That's how crazy he is. So they just going to play out like that. And then the rest of the division going to just have to fall in line. But if Poirier wins the title and beats Oliveira, he's going to fight everybody. I don't see him getting into the politics. That's just my opinion.
Who not getting into the politics? Oliveira or Poirier?
Poirier.
Oh, okay.
I don't see
Well,
Poirier getting into the politics. After he gets the money from beating Conor and he gets the belt, it's gonna be like, all right, well, he's got everything. So it's like, fuck it. Who want it? Khabib come out of retirement, or then you insert a Michael Chandler and he probably fights Conor or something. Like everybody forgot about him. So it's like,
no, yeah, I forgot about it.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
You can slide him anywhere. He'll fight whoever. So that's one thing that I like about Michael Chandler. Like he don't really give a fuck. He like, fuck it. Okay, I just lost. He's like he's taking the kind of ill. Who was taking these kind of ill? I think it was like in 170 pounds, and I forgot who it was. I'm trying to fucking remember, but
recent or a while ago.
Well, I know I always bring up Leon Edwards because you got to think he lost to Usman. Usman going through. She running through shit right now. So it's like when a lot of guys lose, you got to look at who they lose to and how they lost. Like if you got somebody that's probably like look at Nate, for example. The last 2 fights, look who he fought. He fought all contenders. He's fighting all top 5, top 3 people. And for Nate to be that old and be still rocking in the game the way he is, it's like, you got to look at what it is. Some of these dudes are fighting top competition and losing, but they putting up fights. So it's like, between 155 and 170, it's kind of in a weird place right now because you got these 2 dudes holding the titles that are really dominating, but you got these other dudes that are kind of like losing to the top. So it kind of reminds me of something like in college football with the Pac-10, the old school Pac-10. Every school was good, but everybody just used to beat each other. So you don't got somebody that's running the conference that can stand out like an Alabama or LSU.
Yeah. I really don't watch Pee Wee football, so I don't understand the reference.
Hey man. Hey, listen.
Watch
I'm finna jump on a plane, man.
Bullshit.
Tell him where you from, DJ. Tell him where you from.
Roll Tide.
Hey man.
Hey, babe.
I live in Jacksonville, bro. I'm about them Gators.
Hey, babe, see how much the tickets are to Alabama right now?
Hey, look, DJ, we gotta go to Atlanta. I mean, DB, we gotta go to Atlanta. Don't even worry about it.
Man.
All right,
you
back to the regular schedule program.
But yeah,
Sean, you want to add anything to that Poirier and Conor fight?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing in MMA. It's the same thing with boxing or any other combat sport. Once the bully gets beat up, he loses that aura of invincibility, then everybody want a shot at him. You see what I'm saying? Conor been beat a couple times. So people know Conor is beatable, but Conor is the bag. Why not go beat up the dude and get the bag? I think Poirier gonna whoop his ass again.
I agree with what everybody just said, but I just rewatched that second fight, and Conor really did hit him with a few good shots, and then he started getting them kicks off. So I think what DB said, as long as he doesn't try to go in there and exchange with him, it should be pretty much a copy and paste of the last fight.
Yeah, facts, Cam, facts. Real quick in the chat, my brother Rules said Tyron Woodley and also Cody Garbrandt also had big falls from grace. Yeah, that's a fact too. They did. It's crazy. I don't know who had the hardest fall. Maybe Cody had the hardest fall because he's been getting. Tyron Woodley was fighting against some monsters and losing decisions. I mean, of course, he got finished in that last fight, but.
Hey, let me ask you something about that, DB. You don't think age has something to do with Woodley falling down?
Yeah, I'm about to say that. That's part of it.
Yeah, I think that feeling that he had against Kamaru Usman is what really did it to him. That feeling of being manhandled like that when you were the alpha and you were faster and stronger than everybody and explosive and you were able to wrestle and knock people out and, you didn't take any damage. People couldn't hit you. You moved your head pretty good. You had all the attributes to be a great champion, and you were. But then he got in there against this monster, the new GOAT now of the welterweight division, and he just manhandled him. And T. Wood you just see him gasping, like kind of taking those deep breaths, like, here we go, another round, And And I think that feeling right there, being in there with Usman, is what really did it to him. Because after that, he'd go in there and he didn't want to expel too much energy in the first 2 rounds. So he was just kind of waiting and waiting. And by this time, you're down 0-2 or 0-3 on the scorecards. You know, you got to do something crazy to get back. But you fighting against these monsters. Listen, Kobe, Covington. Listen, he's a hoe for all intents and purposes. But man, the dude can fight. He's got a tank on him, and he's a big dude for the division. Fighting against Usman, obviously, he's the GOAT of the division. Fighting against, also fighting against, who was the last fight? He lost to Gilbert, and then he lost to damn, what's Gilbert's other coach name? Teammate? Damn, what's his teammate name? Luque Vicente. There you go.
Yeah.
He lost to Vicente. So listen, those are all guys in the top 7, and he's a really good, well-rounded fighter. So T. Wood wasn't just losing to no chumps. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was age. I just think it was the level of competition, and it passed him by. He got his jiu-jitsu black belt, but never worked on his jiu-jitsu. He was a wrestler / slugger, and you got to evolve because these dudes are they have more value than that now. They're much more well-rounded than they were 5 years ago. Yeah,
DB, I echo everything you said about Tyron Woodley, and I'll pile on that by saying he also stopped using his leg kicks. He also stopped using his wrestling, like you said with his jiu-jitsu. He also stopped using his wrestling. He fell in love with his power, and it's the same thing in boxing as it is in just combat sports. Period. A vicious knockout or a prolonged beating changes a man's career. And I think you made a good point about saying that about him in that fight with Kamaru Usman. I think that prolonged beating changed the course of his career. I really do.
Yeah.
Along with the age. Even when that fight was announced, I didn't think that was a good matchup for Tyron because Kamaru is a younger, stronger, faster version of him. And all up to I remember the lead up to that fight, Tyron Woodley was saying, what do you do better than me? What do you do better than me? It's like, Tyron, he's pretty good, man. I don't know. He kind of looks like So I didn't like that matchup going into the fight, but, and for good reason.
Yeah. I had something else real quick, too. I know that guys were talking about pay before, but I just wanted to cover the pay for the last pay-per-view event, and I'll just do the 4 fights that was on the main card. But Bilal Muhammad fight against Damian Maia. Bilal Muhammad collected $80,000 for that fight, and he's ranked in the top 10. And then legend Damian Maia collected $175,000 for that. Leon Edwards, probably the second best welterweight in the world, collected only $110,000 for that, and he beat Nate, and Nate collected $250,000. The co-main event was Brandon Moreno. He collected $100,000, got him a 6-figure payday, and he fought against Davison Figueiredo, who was already the champion before that, and he collected $210,000. And in the main event, they had Israel Adesanya against Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori collected $350,000. Shout out to Ali, his manager. And Israel Adesanya collected $500,000. He got a cool $500,000. Now these are all their purses. This didn't have anything to do with the pay-per-view points. The gate was $4.5 million that they collected from the gate. So some people might look at these and be like, man, these are good numbers. I think for Damian Maia, for Leon Edwards, and also for Israel Adesanya, I think those are really, really shit numbers. And I think that, these guys are going in there not just taking punches to the head, but kicks and, could lose a limb. Yeah, I just think when these guys are this high quality of fighters, this particular set of guys right here, these guys should be collecting. Israel Adesanya shouldn't be fighting for less than $1 million guaranteed.
Shit,
Right?
I was
He
gonna
should
say
be
too,
fighting.
DB. I was about to say, ain't
Yeah,
no way in
no,
hell the champion is supposed to be fighting for less than $2 million.
Wow,
right.
A
Yeah.
champion,
that sounds
a
crazy.
long reigning champion at that. And just to think, Izzy is probably what would you say, DB? Probably one of the, if not the biggest, one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now.
Yeah, he's top three. Top
Top
three.
top three for sure. And you hear what he's getting paid. So imagine with somebody like Thug Rose or Valentina Shevchenko or hell, even Francis. I don't even think Francis is making that.
Now, Francis is actually making a lot of money. Yeah, Francis is his
Oh, he
purses are a
getting
little
paid,
bit
paid?
bigger.
He getting paid,
Yeah,
paid?
yeah. Francis is getting paid now.
Okay, cool. I'm happy.
So shout out to his manager for making sure that happens.
Yeah,
But you know,
took the words right out of my mouth. Shout out to his representation.
Makes no sense,
absolutely.
man. Let me ask
But
you
but
this.
you, yeah, let me say this last thing real quick. So for people who always think that the UFC is just like this, you know, this big juggernaut, which they are, but also having companies like One Championship, having Bellator, having PFL, having LFA and Combates, and having these other companies around makes it better for these fighters because these guys are making this and they don't have anything on the back. I mean, well, if they're pay-per-view champions or whatever, or the main event, they get pay-per-view points. But if not, this is their purse. You know what I mean? So Israel and Marvin, because they are the main event, they'll both get it. Israel get a little more because he's a champion. Davison Figueiredo would get more too because he was a champion. But the other guys, like that's it. Damian Maia is a legend. You know, a guy's been fighting for 20 years and he's only getting 175,000. So when these other companies come around and these guys start leaving, I know for people who, and I hate to use the word casual to sound demeaning, but for somebody who's a casual MMA fan, they start looking at this thinking that it's the level of competition that fighters can't keep up with. A lot of guys leave when they're in the top 5 or in the top 10 because they can go somewhere else, make this money, have sponsorships, and also get points off of pay-per-views. So I think Dana White needs to do a lot better. Go ahead. Okay.
I'm about to say, who want to add on that? Say, you said everything, brother.
Okay. Good. Also,
I got a question.
Yes.
Is are the PFL going to start doing pay-per-views?
Probably not. Probably not. They're still building the platform. You know, people can't just come in and start trying to drop pay-per-views right away. You see how Triller did it, and the first one blows up because you have, you know, some big names, and it's a novelty fight. And then the second one, it's like, okay, cool. Then by the time they get to the third one, now they don't have the, you know, rumors are that they don't have the money, you know, so they're moving things around to try to make something happen.
Whoa, that's what killed this fight?
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the rumor. I mean, according to Dana, this is coming from Dana White. He's like, they didn't have the money, so he actually mentioned it before they even made the move. He was like, the fight's not going to happen. It's going to get pushed back. These guys talking shit. They think that they got money. They don't have money. And I talked to some people that know the two guys in charge, and this shit is going to get pushed back. And 3 days later, yep, shit happened. So, y'all saw me when I asked Bob Arum on camera about what he thought about Tio, but then I asked him again off camera when we were on the elevator. I'm like, Bob, so what's going on? Like, Tio don't got COVID. I'm like, cut the shit. Fred started laughing. I'm sorry. Bob just, this shit ain't happening. Fred was like, yeah, this is something more than just COVID. Like, shit, you can't fuck with Bob. So who knows if Bob threw a monkey wrench in the game or Triller just didn't have the money, but the shit is just way too funny. And now this guy goes from being the headliner to being on the undercard of an Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort fight. That's a blow to a female's ego.
Wait, so DB, that's a real thing?
Oh, yeah, that's real.
Oh, my God. Vitor about to beat the shit out of Oscar.
Yeah. Even
we
though they're
gonna
both
get TRT Vitor?
hopefully. But listen, Oscar.
Oh man, I
I
don't
don't
mean
think
to laugh that hard.
no shit. We need to laugh, man. Listen, Oscar been statutory raping people and kidnapping kids and all of this old shit and sexually sodomizing people and whatnot. But I hope that Vitor is TRT Vitor. I hope that Vitor goes in there and does what he does. Listen, at the end of the day, is Oscar a better boxer than Vitor? Absolutely. Right. But I think Vitor is naturally a bigger guy. If Oscar is big, that means he's out of shape. You know, who knows what Vitor does, but I know he definitely lives the life of a fighter. And Oscar's, you know, he's on dope, he's drinking, he's got hookers. You know, he's living a rock star's life. So I don't think one camp is going to get you to the point where you can go in and do more than 2 or 3 rounds with somebody who's a high level fighter who's been training. Basically,
I'm about to say you took the words right out of my mouth. Vitor has actually been active. Isn't he still fighting for ONE FC?
Yeah. Well, no, he's not anymore. Once this fight was made, then his contract was over.
Oh man.
Well, I kind of knew something was up because you said the guy got COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fight was on the 19th. So you need at least 15 days to get cleared from COVID. That takes you to the end of the month, to July. Now you got to go back to training. Is that enough time? When you've been sitting for 15 days, you probably gained a lot of weight. Now you got to cut all that weight and train and be ready for a world championship fight by August 14th. That's not enough time.
Now, see, that was part of Camboso's theory, not to get too far into this, but that was Camboso's theory. Camboso said he didn't look like he was going to make weight. Said it looked like he still had about 10 more pounds to cut. And his face was already sunk in, said his eyes and stuff was already sunk in. So that's Camboso's theory, that T.O. wasn't going to make weight.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, though. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not saying that it's true, but it makes sense.
He's already a big kid. He's already a big kid for 35. Now, he sits around for 15 days till he gets cleared from COVID. You talking about gaining what? 15, 20 pounds?
No, not that much, but probably 10 pounds.
I would say probably 8 to 10. Probably 8 to 10.
Yeah. Okay, you say 8 to 10 pounds. And that's assuming that he was on weight when he got the COVID, correct?
True.
Yeah, now somebody else said this day on another platform. It was like, according to what they read, T.O. was at 143, I think, on the 12th. So take that for what it is. That's a week out before the fight. So
you had 8 pounds to cut in a week?
Yeah.
8 pounds? That's kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
No, 8 in a week is actually 8 in a week is cool. You can actually lose 8 in the day before, but if you are already dried and completely dehydrated and you got nothing else to lose, you can't squeeze nothing else out. Yeah, and he was probably to that point. But man, listen, shit's just gonna stay like that because he's spending so much time doing media. Man, when you you cannot spend time doing this type of shit when you this guy fucked up, man. I don't want to keep talking about boxing, but what I wanted Tio to do was just to go in there. I just wanted him to go in there and just listen. If you're gonna beat Kambosos, just go in there and win the fight real quick. Go in there, knock the dude out in 3 or 4 rounds, and then be ready for the next fight. Get in there with Tank after this or somebody. But I like to keep shit moving. This is prolonging the division, but we digress.
Yes, sir. So, DB, what you think about that Nico Price and that, how you say his name, Michelle Pereira?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you think about that? I think that's going to be a barn burner fight of the night.
Yeah. Do you remember me putting that fight together like 2 weeks ago? Right here, and I went through everybody or a few weeks ago, who should fight who, or whatever. But Man, listen, Nico
Yeah.
Price is a
Oh
smiley ass dude.
Yeah, I remember. I remember now when you was talking, and I was saying, Rude Boy and
Yes.
somebody should fight. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but man, listen, Nico is a smiley dude, and he might throw people off because of his demeanor, like his disposition. But man, Nico Price could fight his ass off, and
Yes.
he a big ass dude, you know, especially for that division. Ultimately, he'll end up fighting at 185. But Michelle he's just an acrobatic, you know, capoeira and kickboxer practitioner. Man, the dude knows how to move. He knows how to put on a show. I think sometimes he gets a little bit too flashy though when he needs to sit down on some of his punches and some of his kicks to make them effective. So the shit's flashy, but I think if he just buckles down a little bit and throw with a little more fire, he can win this. But right now, man, I have it 50-50, and I might even be edging Nico because he's been out for a minute. He had a suspension. I think he had a marijuana suspension, right? I believe so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think he had a marijuana suspension after the fight with Cowboy, and he was out for a while. So, you know, sometimes when guys are out, it's a good thing because they get a chance to recover. And he was pretty active before that. So I think with that, having a recovery time, not having to go through training camps or whatever, but still able to work on your craft. It might be 51-49 or 50-50 for Nico right now, but I want to see how Michelle looks in his interviews, and I want to watch a couple of his videos and see what his weight looks like, what his face looks like, and then I might change it. I'm pretty sure I will change it after that if I keep it the same or if I stay in the favor of Nico Price. What you think?
Fight of the night contender. I mean, Nico Price is a tough kid, no nonsense, like you said, but I don't know, man. Michelle Perretta, man. I like that flashy style, man. I like the Anthony Pettis. I like the Yair Rodriguez. I like the Zabit style. I like that flashy style of fighting. As long as you don't get caught, you're okay. But I'm with you, man. 50-50 fight. I expect it to be a bloodbath, barn burner fight. Like I said, fight of the night contender. I'm really excited to see Kevin Lee come back, man. He's been out for what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I think
a
he blew his knee out. I think he blew his knee out, didn't he? Was it his knee or his both knees?
Hold on, DB. Did I see something about him being injured and out of that fight?
Who? Kevin Lee?
Kevin Lee. Yeah.
No.
Kevin
Lee's good now. Yeah. He tore his ACL, and he was I think the same week that he went back into training, and I think he started training too early. He was putting too much pressure on the other leg, and then he ended up tearing the MCL and the LCL on the other leg. So he fucked up both of his knees, and he was basically, not able to walk for several months. But, I think with that, you have time to watch more film, to reflect, and you also get a chance to work on your hands a little bit more. He's already a great wrestler. Hopefully this doesn't.
I'm gonna check that out because something came across my timeline. I got ESPN on my phone, and something flashed about Kevin Lee being out of a fight. He had a fight coming up, and he's out. He's hurt.
Oh man, don't say that, man. Don't say that.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'll look up ESPN when I get done with you guys, and I'll check it out. I think I can definitely remember that when you said Kevin Lee. I was like, wait a minute, something came across my timeline.
Oh, he's right, DB.
Whoa.
With a rib injury, man.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Damn, bruh.
I knew I saw that shit today. I knew I did.
Oh, it's from today?
Tough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Yep, 3:00 today.
Damn. Yeah, so I haven't been on my social media shut down.
Oh wow,
yeah, that's tough. I didn't see that either. Damn, that's tough, man.
Yeah, I was sitting in the airport and that shit fucking went across. I was like, what? He's hurt again?
Damn. Yeah, he hadn't fought since March of last year. So
Shout out to Young Merv, the cut man in the building. What up, Dago? Shout out to the brother Jalen that jumped in here too. And Lee Adam, what up? Yeah, everybody was confirming that Kevin Lee was out. Yeah. My social what up, cuzzo? I see Boxing Truth Serums in the building. Yeah, I don't have social media right now, man. Reggie put out a video the other day with the Jamaican guy in the video, and I commented on the video and said that me and my Caribbean people are crazy as fuck. And yeah, they got that as hate speech. So shut me down.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I got banned for a little while too. I called this girl a crazy hoe, and I got banned a couple of days for bullying. So
yeah. Oh, is
that happened to me before too. So yeah, it was just like 3 days. 3 days I couldn't post nothing. Yeah.
Okay. Now when you try to send me, go to mine real quick, DJ, and try to send me something and see, because I try to pull it up and it said it didn't exist or something like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, let me see. What Jay Dixon said, Fred told y'all about censorship.
Jay's a fool, man.
Man. Young Merv, the cut man. Merv said, when does the Black Beast fight again? It's supposed to be in mid-September for him and Francis. So we shall see. Yeah, we shall see. Oh, you know what? And I forgot about the big news. Biggest news.
I know where you're going with this.
Man, the UFC is building a PI, a performance institute in Africa, and supposedly in West Africa. I think this was what Israel and Francis and Kamaru Usman have all been going back there for, back to Nigeria and Cameroon. And
this is for talent, huh?
Well, no, just to go there to kind of,
promote the sport,
but also to work on like being co-sponsors or whatever for the PI. But the UFC has committed to having an event out there in 2022. So next year, they said by the summertime. Yep, UFC Africa.
In Nigeria?
It just said UFC Africa. They didn't say anything yet, but if you look at Kamaru Usman, he was
massive.
That's
gonna be massive.
Yeah, and they talked to, and I don't know if y'all remember when we interviewed Deontay Wilder a couple of weeks ago. He said that it wasn't about like for them all to fight on Juneteenth, like him and EJ and Gary Russell Jr. And he said it didn't matter who was the main event.
Right.
They said the same thing to Israel, Kamaru Usman, and to Francis. All of them said, if we have one in Africa, I don't care if I'm the main event or not. You know what I mean? So I think that
would be beautiful, brothers.
Oh man, you have no idea, man. Listen, I like to say I took part in that, man, because I've been on Dana's head. DJ, no, man, I've been pumping this shit up for the last 2 years, man, almost every day.
Yeah, man, he been been real heavy on that, and I noticed that when Izzy first went home after he won the interim belt from Kelvin, and he was in that gym, and he came back and he started talking about how he showed this kid this kick, how he showed him a high kick one time, and within 3 tries the kid had never thrown a kick in his life, so. I was like, oh, yeah, he going to come back and tell Dana that. And then you got Kamaru. I'm sorry, am I echoing?
You good?
And then you got Kamaru, and at that time you had Francis. And it's like UFC might actually start building some gyms and investing in it. I know Dana's been talking about investing in it, but they couldn't get the land where they wanted to build the gym on. So they just kind of let it go for a while. So now that they've come back to it, I'm all for it. I hope they get that UFC Africa card off the ground before Francis loses his belt to Derek.
Hey DB, who owns UFC? Who's the owner now? Is it AIG?
What's the name of the group? WE. how do you say that damn name?
WMEIMG.
ING. There you go.
Yeah, it's like a conglomerate of movie agents. They were Ronda Rousey's people that came in and bought the company.
Right. It's some big money behind it. That's what I'm saying. I know it's billions behind it.
Yeah, listen, supposedly half of the partners are like Chinese mafiosos or whatever, but who knows? But
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Young Marv the Cut Man said, "Yeah, West Africa is on fire with athletes. Yeah, right now, man, they doing it. Even in boxing, man, from cruiserweight up, man, they got a lot of talent out there." Jay Dixon said, "I might have to be in the building for that shit. That's fire." And Young Merv said, "Damn, that's awesome. Juneteenth for boxing and MMA, bro.
That would be crazy, right?
That'd be crazy." And Lee Adams said, Adesanya and Usman both said that Francis should be the main event. Yeah, listen, I always think that the heavyweight champion should be the one, but it's just cool for them to have that humility to say it doesn't matter who it is.
We ain't tripping. Yeah, we ain't tripping. Whatever. Yeah. He's the guy. We'll take the back seat. We just
what about 2 and 3? You think those two care?
No.
You get to fight in Africa.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
So because see, here's the thing. Number one, it's gonna sell out wherever it is. It's gonna sell out with them there. Number two, it's gonna sell pay-per-views, and they're all champions, so they all get pay-per-view points because they're all champions.
That's a fact.
So it doesn't matter in what order they go in.
Now you talking about million plus views. Try 2-3 million, maybe 4.
That's the biggest fight in UFC history.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, if all three African champions and they fighting in Africa, shit.
Yeah.
And listen, so this is what I'd say. I'd say if Francis goes in and beats Derek Lewis, which, man, listen, that's tough. I don't want to talk about that one. I'm gonna get emotional about that one. But shout out to the Clack Cease and also to Francis. But if that fight happens and Francis wins the fight, they could either have a trilogy there in Africa, or he'd have a fight trilogy with Stipe out there. Because remember, it's in a year from now, so that will be that one. I think Kamaru Usman, the UFC kind of fucked up a little bit. They should have let Usman go ahead and fight against Michael Chiesa or Nate Diaz to put an end to them real quick, and then had the Kobe fight out there. But I think other than that, they're gonna have to put a Nate Diaz or a Nick Diaz or somebody else with a name for Usman, because I think at this point he would already run through the division. And then for Izzy, same thing. I have no idea who Izzy will fight at that time, because again, just like Kamaru Usman and Francis, they've already basically run through the top of the division. Who do you think Izzy would fight?
Who's that 185 form?
I say go ahead and let him dust Kobe off one more time, and then just hold that Leon fight. Just hold that Leon fight until we can get to the UFC Africa card. Give Izzy somebody like a give him Robert Whittaker. He's already called out Bobby Knuckles. Give him Bobby Knuckles at the end of the year. And then just hold him out and possibly get, I don't know, Cannonier, maybe. I think that's the only guy who he hadn't fought in the top 10. Either Cannonier or Hermanson. So get him to fight one of those two guys. It really don't matter. Whoever fights him is going to lose. So it really don't matter. But Francis. I'm with you, man. I really don't know who's gonna win that fight. I just want to see Dana White have to put that belt around Derek Lewis.
Lee Adams said,
I'd be here, and I'm completely here for the post fight. So, man, who could Francis fight? Because I don't think Stipe won't no more, man.
You think Stipe?
I'll give you my quick input. Check this out, DJ. Check this out, DJ. Let me see if I could throw this in there. So, Cyril Gane beats Rosenstruik, right? Then he beat JDS. JDS is gone now. He already beat Tanner Boser, who's in the top 10. And now he's got to fight against Alexander Volkov.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Volkov beat Overeem. Overeem is gone. He beat Walt Harris. Walt's like three or four in a row down, roll tide. And so Francis has already beat Curtis Blades, knocked him out a couple of times.
Knocked him out twice.
So the fight that they can build a story around it, and also because he speaks French, he's a former teammate. He's Ferdinand Lopez is still his coach, and that will be a fight against Cyril Gane.
Hey, look at that comment, DB. Look at that comment.
I'm with it.
Let's see. All right, let me run through this. Let me run through these comments real quick. So we had Young Murphy said, Derek Lewis just seems like a regular guy. He's relatable for me. He also said, I'm a newbie to the MMA, but there are certain fighters that I've liked for a long time. Aaron24 said, is he going to have to figure out how to get to 205? Yeah, Aaron, that might be the biggest thing for him if he can get up there. Lee Adams said, Cannonier has to win this fight. That's a true statement, Lee. And he said, Till could be the one. Ah, that's right, Lee. That's right. Okay. Darren Till could be the one.
But ain't Darren lost like 2 in a row, though? Ain't he lost like 2?
Coming off the injury, though. He got hurt.
Yeah, I know, but before he got hurt, didn't he lose 2 in a row? Hold on, let me look that up.
No, he lost 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Let's see. The Lee Adams said Izzy said he wants to fight Till. Okay, good. Then we got Young Murphy said I need Kobe's head right now next to Fury's on the mantle. That's a fact, Young Murph. Let me see. Lee said Francis versus John Jones in Africa. Oh yeah, duh.
How did I forget that? God Almighty.
How did I forget that?
How did I forget that? Oh man, out of sight, out of mind.
Thank you, Lee. That's why we need Lee in the chat, man.
Tell me that's not the biggest fight, y'all.
Yeah, that's the biggest fight.
Definitely the biggest fight.
Yeah,
man. Give John whatever he wants, man. Just at this point, give him whatever he wants. I don't understand. You're gonna make so much more money on the back end of this fight. Just give the man whatever he wants.
Yeah. All right, let me see. Keep Caution says Francis versus John Jones, Izzy versus Whitaker, and Usman versus Kobe, Nigeria or Morocco. All right, so I'll say this here too. It's got to be in West Africa. Shout out to Morocco. It's a beautiful place. It's got a lot of culture, blah, blah, blah. However, it's it's not the same. In Northern Africa, MMA is not as popular. It's popular. They have a lot of Moroccan fighters, but those guys are living in the southern region and they're fighting out of South Africa. So South Africa has a huge scene. They have a company that's there called EFC, and the EFC is like the biggest MMA organization in Africa on the continent. But it's got to be Cameroon is small, so it's got to be Nigeria. They have a new stadium. It's a huge stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, and Cameroon is a neighbor to there too. It's on the border of Central Africa, West Africa. But having these guys there, not only that though, there's also 2 Ghanaian fighters who are fighting in the UFC. There's also like 4 other Nigerian. Whoa, y'all all right? But I think it would have to be in. Yep. Lee just said it right there. It'd have to be in South Africa or Nigeria. But I'm gonna push for Nigeria because that's where the champions are. Let these guys fight at home. Yep. And there go H Money. Shout out to H. He said EFC in South Africa. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's see it happen.
I love it. Well, fellas, I'm gonna get this jet lag off me, man. Good hollering at y'all. And
you too, brother. Rest up.
Guys, there's no show on Friday, so I see you guys on Sunday.
Yes, indeed.
No, all right, brother.
Yeah, I'll see you at the fight, bro.
All right, man. Take it
easy. Make sure you bring my wing money after this fight.
What? All right, man.
All right, brothers. Have a good one, y'all.
All right. Take it easy.
Peace.
Yep.
Let's see. Robert Brown, he said, what happened to events like that? Tyson in Tokyo, Rumble in the Jungle, Thrill in Manila. Definitely need more of those. I agree. And Young Murph said Morocco is more of a tourist attraction than a fight site, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a fact. That's exactly what it is. Lee said UFC, South Africa, or Nigeria. Okay, we got that already. Let's see.
So, DB, you think just your gut feeling when they do go to Africa, because it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen. When they do, where do you believe personally the first card is going to be?
It only two places, either Nigeria or South Africa. South Africa has already got the organization that's there, and if they don't have enough, which I think they do, I think I can probably pull up a list of all the real African fighters that are there. I think there may be 22 or 23 on the roster. And these fighters are all, primarily from their Ghanaian or Nigerian fighters. So it has to be in that area. You know, they have to tap that market. And if it's not there because of those champions, if it was an event that didn't involve Usman, Izzy, and Francis, then they would have to put it in South Africa, and they could pull some fighters from the EFC to because they already have the culture that's there. They have the stadium or arenas that are basically ready for those. So, yeah, it's got to be one of those two. And, listen, while there's other beautiful places out there, I think there's a lot of islands that are on the coast of both of those on both coasts in the Atlantic and also the Indian Ocean. They can take like little small places like Madagascar. They can go like to Cape Verde or the Canary Islands. They can go to all these different places too. To Sao Tome and Principe. There's islands that they can go to that's beautiful, white sand. All of this shit that they think is beautiful, but at the end of the day, I don't think those places will be big. They don't have stadiums, and they're not ready for it. So they would have to do what they did with Fight Island. They would have to go there and build something, and then do, if you build it, you got to do 6 or 7 events there. You can't just build it for one event and then take it down. That's the waste of money.
That's a fact. Because I don't think the UFC will put on events outdoors because they had an opportunity to do it with Fight Island and they chose not to. So I don't think they'll do an event in a stadium. And I think what's his name? Connor used to always try to get them to go back and fight at that park, that soccer stadium out there in Ireland, and they never did it. So
right.
So I don't think the UFC will ever do a stadium show, but they'll definitely have to build another Apex or a bigger Apex out there wherever they start building the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. You going to Vegas? Yeah, I'm gonna be in Vegas. Yeah, I'm going to the Errol Spence and also the Deontay Wilder fight. I'll be at those, and Cool Boy Steph got one out here, so I'll be at that one. You should drive up here, as a matter of fact, Murph. The Cool Boy Steph and damn, what's the boy's name? Anyway, they'll be at the the damn what's the name of that damn stadium that's in Carson? Damn.
Talking about where Chargers used to play, right? Or what Galaxy play at? Talking about like the StubHub Center, something like that.
StubHub, there you go, StubHub. God, I couldn't think. They changed the name, but yeah, we still call it StubHub.
They changed the name.
They changed. Yeah, it's like
okay.
Botanical Bluefield Garden Bank Arena, something crazy, but yeah, StubHub is what we still call it.
Gotcha.
It's like people here, they say the what they call it, the Western Super Mall or some shit like that. Man, that's the Slauson Swap Meet. Like, we know what it is. Let's see. Jay Dixon said, I want to go to Brazil for a UFC event. Yeah, man. Listen, I've been to Brazil several times, man, and man, I don't want to say it's overrated, but yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't see it didn't live up to the hype for me. I think my expectations were too high, and each time I went, it just never got met. So, however, I do have to point out that I haven't been to Rio though, so that may be it. Let's see. Jalen said boxing is behind. We still haven't had Tank versus Russell in the DMV area. Yeah, that's a fact, Jalen. That fight should have happened at least a year ago. Young Merv the Cutman said Fight Island was a decent idea. Fight Island was a great idea. That was a great idea. Robert Brown said Ivory Coast too. Yes, absolutely. All of that in West Africa, man, right there in that at the side of the Atlantic Ocean side, man. I mean, everything that's coastal in Africa is extremely beautiful. They got a ton of islands there. There's probably about, I would say, uh, not quite 20, but somewhere in the teens, the islands that they have. Seychelles, Comoros, Madagascar, Sao Tome and Principe, and so forth. But yeah, there's a lot of beautiful places you can go where people would look at and they would go, "This is Africa?" Yeah, but those places are not big enough for the type of event that they want to do to go to Africa. Let's see. So
Yeah.
I think the
Once I saw pictures of Kenya, I was like, oh, that's not at all how I pictured that. And this is when I was younger. I was like, that's not at all how I pictured Africa. So that's really what changed my mind and my outlook on how Africa looks. Once when my cousin went over there and came back and showed me pictures of Kenya, I was like, that looks like New York.
Right.
So
yeah,
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. For people that don't know, if you look up the cleanest city in the world, just type in cleanest city in the world and then type in Africa and then watch what pops up. It's going to look like it's an animation. Like, wait, hold on. Is this real? Yeah. And that's in Kigali in Rwanda. So I know when people think of Rwanda, what's the first thing that Westerners and Americanized view of what Rwanda is?
That damn movie.
That the genocide, right? So you start thinking about dead bodies and flies and shit, and you'd never know, But yeah, if you looked up, just type in beautiful Kigali, Kigali, look it up, and you go, holy shit. And this is how crazy it is. The city is so clean that when people there that are having their lunch in the area, like the business people, they sit in the sewer, in the gutter, they sit down like on the curb right there, their feet in the gutter and eat their lunch. But there's not one piece of trash on the floor in the entire city. It's crazy, but everybody has pride in the city. So yeah, these are the things that our people need to know and need to see. And how these top hats have their birthright trips that they do. And of course, since I'm, from UCLA and everything that's in Westwood, Brentwood, Encino, and that whole area, the majority of my clientele, are top hats. So I talk to these little kids all the way up, and they know all about Israel and Jerusalem and whatnot. And it inspires me to when I get around our youth to make sure I talk to them about ours, and they have birthright too. You know what I'm saying? So they need to make sure that they take their trip. And shout out to Ghana for getting together with the U.S. and putting together the those trips for 2019. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was damn. Ghana. It was called like the return home, or the year of the return. There it was. So anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, Taylor Bell. So yeah, look it up. Look up Kigali, Kigali. It was clean like that in Singapore too. Yeah, Singapore. Yeah, I've been to Singapore, but for a layover. Yeah, Singapore was pretty damn clean too. Let me see. This T guy sounds a lot like a cool brother and maybe knows how to fight. If so, I would like for him to destroy that guy named DV from the barbershop. Yeah, I'll take on dude. You know what I'm saying? They got to pay me for it though. Dude be talking kind of big, so shit, I don't really know. He sound like he was gonna probably get down, but shit, yeah, if they pay me right, you know what I'm saying, I get down with him. Yeah. I don't. Maybe you typed that before I said it. It's Kigali, Kigali. Yeah. Just type in cleanest city, Kigali. It'll come up. But if you just hit Google and you type it in, yeah, they may have some city in Sweden or somewhere in Canada or some shit like that. But I guarantee you, if the general consensus is if you look at 10 or 15 of them, you'll see Kigali there everywhere.
Oh wow.
You see it?
Oh wow.
It looks
There
crazy.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, listen, they try to give us the idea of stuff just being like lions and tigers and bears, oh my, so that it frightens us because we are all city slickers, well, for the most part, right? And people are not used to dealing with the wildlife, so you hear about lions and tigers and bears and shit. The last thing you want to do is go a place where they have that. But if you look this up too. It's called Seychelles. It's a beautiful island there. It's Seychelles, Seychelles. So you can type in Africa and then type in SEY and you'll see it pop up, Seychelles Island. But just a different perspective, man. You see it, and yeah, it's crazy. You see that, DJ?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. There's another island that's called Comoros. Like I told you, Sao Tome and Principe. I mean, they look similar because it's basically what we have been programmed to think since we were younger. So it's got to be white sand beach. It's got to be clear water. Like that's what we think that paradise is. So, but they never show us that. Have you ever seen or heard of these places before? Probably not, right? And if so,
No,
probably
I
not
haven't
often.
heard of them. But see, when I see stuff like this, immediately where my mind goes, because I'm from the country, is I think big ass spiders, big ass mosquitoes, big ass snakes. That's immediately what I see when I see islands. I was like, okay, big ass spiders, big ass snakes. That's what and then you're surrounded by sharks. That's just the way I look at it. But it's a beautiful place. That's just my country.
Ain't no train ain't gonna get you there either.
Right.
Man, y'all knock it off, man. Y'all knock it off, Cam. Y'all knock it off. Shit, Taylor Bell said beautiful.
The train.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah, Taylor Bell said it's beautiful, and Robert Brown said I plan on moving to Seychelles Islands. Yeah, so we have birthright too, man. So if we want to go somewhere, listen. If we want to do the Serengeti, no problem. If we want to do Mount Kilimanjaro and we want to do some hiking and no problem, shit. If we want to go see some mountains and some greenery, man, we got the southern part of Eastern Africa where we can go. Plenty of shit that's below the Horn, where it's beautiful. You want to go to the cradle of civilization? We go to the Horn. We go to Somalia. We go to Ethiopia. We go to Eritrea. Man, that's a whole lot. You go north of that, you can get to Egypt and Morocco, and man, we got tons and tons of history. All of our shit don't look the same. It's the second biggest continent in the world. So you have 54 official, and then you have 54 official nations, and then you have almost 20 islands that are around that. So we got a whole lot. Yeah, above and below the equator line, with different weathers and everything. So yeah.
Okay.
They can't tell us. But anyway, back to the fights though. Man, it could be anywhere. They got a lot of beautiful places that they can put it. But I think the only thing that makes sense, like Lee and Adam said earlier, it's got to be in South Africa or it's got to be in Nigeria. Secondary to that, I would say Ghana. They may be ready. I know they're ready for the culture and they're ready for the tourism because they've been working on that already for the last couple of years. Yeah, and outside of that, other places are just for like fight nights or whatever, but not for these big cards. And while I'm speaking about fighting in Cape Verde, and shout out to Demetrius Andrade, the Cape Verdean himself. Yeah. Let's see what else.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that news when I heard that today. I was like, finally, they're gonna stop Triple G from ducking. It was like, we're not gonna pay you to fight cab drivers anymore. I just hope Demetrius, if the fight really does go through and they get it signed, sealed, and delivered, Demetrius Andrade, he's got to come through on this one. You cannot lose. It can't be a close fight, and you can't lose because you won't get another big fight.
Right. Yeah.
So
I agree. Yeah. Did y'all talk about Kayla Harrison's bout already?
yeah, me and Shelton started talking about that. I was explaining to him about Cindy Dandois, the lady that she's fighting, and telling him how her about her kickboxing pedigree. Now her ground game, her grappling ain't that strong, even though she has a black belt. It's not that strong. I saw her get mauled in the UFC in her one fight. I think it was against trying to remember, was it Megan Anderson or was it Holly Holm? Huh?
It was Alexis Davis.
Was it Alexis Davis?
Yep. That was either 2016 or 17. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I remember she got mauled on the ground and didn't have any answers. So it's like, oh my goodness.
Her black belt is in judo, though. She doesn't have a black belt in jits. She's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Black belt judokas going at it, but Kayla Harrison is she's a physical specimen. She's super duper strong.
I wouldn't grab
it. I can. The only female that I can see doing something with her is Cyborg or Amanda. I don't see, and the only reason why I don't see Bullet doing much with her because she's just a bigger girl. If Bullet was a 5'9" chick, 5'8", 5'9", 145 pounder, then Bullet would probably be the GOAT. But Kayla Harrison definitely one of the top 5 females in mixed martial arts around the world. Period.
And I was just explaining to Shelton how it doesn't matter. Once Kayla Harrison gets her hands on you, it's like being in a crocodile or an alligator's jaws. Once she gets her hands on you, fuck.
Yes,
you're going for a ride, and you're probably going to get mauled and stopped in that fight. So,
yeah,
no, we shall see. Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. Yeah, you heard the news about Clarissa Shields, though, huh?
What happened?
So Clarissa Shields has already booked. She wastes no time, man. She got booked for August 27th at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. She doesn't have an opponent yet, but she got the date and the venue. It's already locked, and she's already signed and sealed and delivered. So once they get her opponent there, I think they said they'll get the opponent before the month is out. So in the next couple of days, she'll know who her opponent is. And she's rocking and rolling. After that, she's got
please be a kickboxer.
Yeah, exactly. After that, then she's got 2 mandatory, so she's probably gonna have to take 2 boxing matches. I guess 1 at each division, but 2 boxing matches, which they already, PFL already knows about, of course. And then after that, she'll be able to come back. So, man, listen, I think she will definitely be the athlete of the year. Possibly, right? I mean, she's definitely in the running if she goes and takes 2 mandatories this year and wins 2 MMA fights. How can you deny that, right? No matter the level of competition. Yeah, got to give her props for that. Okay. Let me see. Robert Brown. So August 27th, that weekend is anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech. Oh, snap. Yeah. Salute to President Jafar and jumped in too, man. Shout out to President Jafar, box fans in the building. Cali fan band, what up? And
question
I see you, J.A. Dixon.
Y'all think
so I said, you got to get out more, DJ.
What you say, Cam?
Do y'all think that she should be taking boxing matches? Do you think that's going to put a stunt to her growth at all? Or
no. Listen, in MMA,
go ahead.
In MMA, you still have everything, right? You have your boxing coaches. Sometimes people just have a striking coach, but others they'll have a boxing coach and then a kickboxing coach separate. And then they have a wrestling coach, and then they have a jiu-jitsu coach, and you have a head coach. Sometimes they'll have somewhere between 2 to 6 coaches. But the elite fighters, they will have a boxing coach, so they spend several days, in a row, working on boxing. So no matter what she's doing, I think she's still going to be in the gym. Number one, being active, which is good, and under the bright lights, and sharpening her tools. She's already got sharp tools, so why work on wrestling and then forget about the boxing, which is your number one tool, and it's not as sharp as it needs to be. So keep it sharp as a razor, and then just add the wrestling and the grappling components and the kickboxing components when you have the time. Go ahead, DJ. Mute it. You on mute?
Oh shit, my bad. But no,
Roll
man,
Tide.
boxing. Yeah, boxing is at this point for her is muscle memory, man. It's been something she's been doing over half her life. So I don't really think she'll lose her time and her distance and all that because she's gonna keep that sharp because she's still working on her hands every day. But and it also helps that I believe she's so far ahead of the field in her weight classes in boxing. Like those girls have a long way to go to catch up to her. So I don't think her moving back and forth between boxing and MMA or hinder her at all. If anything, it'll hinder is her weight cutting. How's she gonna go up to 160 or 168 and then have to come back down to 155 to fight? So
right, yeah, that was my idea on it. Like, you think she just stays at a comfortable weight for herself, type of situation? Because she doesn't technically have to go up, does she? She should, you know what I mean?
Damn, didn't think that's a good shit.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest thing with her transitioning back and forth because the boxing part will come natural. It's just her having to go up and down in weight so rapidly. How will that affect her? So we're about to find out, man, with her going back and forth between boxing and MMA.
Yeah, and I think Rob said who would be a good opponent for her. Man, that's it's tough to say,
for
man.
Boxing
because
or MMA?
No, he said an MMA.
Oh, okay.
It's tough for me to answer because I would say that the person would have to be a striker, a boxing heavy striker, or because that plays into her, her game. But then again, she's got to get some tough grappling matches where she's, like how Izzy was caught in a deep rear naked choke, and he's not a grappler, but he knew exactly what to do. He knew to relax, to breathe, to turn his hips. You know what I mean? Like he knew exactly what to do. And she needs to be in those situations too, where she gets, and I mean, with an experienced grappler, a wrestler who's gonna take her down, and also got some submissions to put her in a dangerous spot where she's got to go. Fuck! I cannot tap. I got to relax. I got to get out of this sub and wiggle her way out. Using technique, not strength, but she needs to be able to do that on a big stage, about 2 or 3 times, because that's what's going to help her to get better. So yeah, it's tough for me to say, man. I want her to be able to get those grappling, the sessions in, those fights in, but that might be to her demise,
Her next 3 fights should all be exclusively strikers. I'm talking about Muay Thai kickboxing, and or just a straight up boxer. Her next 3 fights, and during that time, they need to have her down there in Jackson Winklejohn's gym. They need to have her in a gi, just working transitions, working on passing the guard, working on using the proper technique, working on wall walking on the cage, because there was times in her last fight that she could have just wall walked and got up instead of just having to buck and use so much energy and trying to explode from the bottom. She could have used technique. She could have wall walked. So they need to get with her on that. Yeah, that's just. I think she needs to face exclusively strikers for probably her next 2 or 3 fights. If you're really trying to build her into the face of your organization, let's get her some more confidence going first. Then she'll start talking more. Then more girls will start wanting that fight.
Yeah, true. Yep. Kevin Adams says in the chat, what up, Kev? He said, facts. Grappling is different. A whole different beast. And H1, said, facts, DJ, facts. Yeah. Yeah, for people who haven't grappled before, if you've never been, doing any wrestling, catch wrestling, Japanese submission wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, ground karate, judo. Like if you haven't been grappling, then all of this seems so easy to you. It seems like, oh, somebody take you down, you just get back up. Is it that easy, DJ?
Why, hell no, especially with somebody who has not only superior technique, but is close to your size. And years of experience, maybe even have years of experience on you. So they're setting traps for you. They'll grab your arm this way, so you'll pull it this way. And really what they want is your shoulder, or really what they want is your neck. They want your neck, so they're going to pull on your arm this way, tug on it this way, knowing that you're going to move this way. And once you move that way, oh, now look, your arm's pinned and you can't defend yourself. So now I'm going to strangle you. So you run that risk, man. And especially like with, I don't know if people have wrestled, have done jiu-jitsu before, man, it's not as easy as it looks, especially with somebody with, like I said, with superior technique and somebody close to your size doing it.
Yeah. It's humbling, very humbling. So for people that's watching, they go, oh, all she got to do is just learn how to do the takedown defense. That's all she got to do. No, that ain't all she got to do. And if that is all she got to do, it takes a lifetime for a lot of people to get that. And you're talking about not perfecting it, just getting it good enough so where she can sprawl and continue to throw punches. Yeah, it ain't that easy. Yep, Boxman says so many traps. Yeah, I'm new to this. Yep, so many traps. Let's see. I never said you did. Clarissa can advocate for her. Oh, you're talking to somebody else in the chat. Yeah, what else you got? What else is on the bill, DJ? What else we got in MMA?
We got a Bellator card this weekend. I'm not too excited about it, but
yeah, well, those sometimes those are the cards where you sit back and you don't have any expectations, and then you go, oh shit, this was a good card.
Yeah. You got Big Tim Johnson against Valentin Moldavsky.
Yeah, Tim Johnson just strikes me as listen, I don't know Tim Johnson, but somebody got that look. You know the look. I ain't got to tell you.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, trust me. I know what you're talking about.
yeah. That Tim Johnson just strikes me as that dude.
Yes, we'll like your
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
You got Miles Fury Jury fighting Sydney Outlaw. You got Liz Carmouche fighting what's her name? Kana Watanabe.
Yeah, man. So I think they fought on the same card on their last fight, I believe. Yeah, I can't fuck with Liz Carmouche. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully she go out there and get beat up.
I forgot you don't like her lifestyle.
Yeah. We can't be promoting.
I got you.
We can't be promoting that. See, to each his own, right? Like if she did that and she was at her house, like no problem. But that can't be there with her winning. And if she's winning, all they're gonna do is just keep promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So,
and it's crazy. They were trying to. I think even Joe Rogan was championing that at one point. It was like, yeah, the UFC needs to promote Amanda Nunes this way. It was like, she might not want her business out there like that, but all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah, of course she didn't want it like that, because if she wanted it like that, she wouldn't have been, wearing. She was wearing jeans, but she was wearing blouses at first. She wasn't wearing dresses, but she wore jeans, and she would wear blouses, and she had lip gloss on. Now she full t-shirts and shorts and bracelets around. You know what I'm saying? Just looking like looking like Alice the Goon.
Something like that.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, to each his own. It ain't my business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do what you do.
Yeah. Who you got in the Miles Jury fight?
I'm gonna go with the black guy. Sydney Outlaw. Because I didn't like Miles Jury back when he was with the UFC and how he talked crap about Diego Sanchez at that time, and
Yeah.
Cowboy had to get in there and teach him a lesson, and then he ran the Bellator after that. So, I just, I'm gonna go with Sidney Outlaw in that fight just because I ain't got too many good feelings for Miles Jury.
Listen, I don't care if Miles Jury was from California. Shit, I'm going for the brother. Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not the only one that do that. If it's a black guy against a white guy, I'm going for the black guy. If it's two black guys, I'm gonna go for the American. If they both American, I'm gonna go for the one from the South.
That's what you do. Like that's what everybody else do. Shit, why we got to do it different from everybody else? Why we got to play? Why we got to have an even playing field? You know what I'm saying? Why we got to change up? No, fuck that. So if I'm here with Lil DB and I'm here with my nephew and shit, and we watching, I'm like, shit, who you got? You know what I'm saying? And they'll look and be like, I got the one with the blue shorts. Shit, why? Because blue my favorite color. Like it might be any little thing. And I'm like, hey, listen. Shit. I'm like, here go the rundown. See him right there? He from Carlsbad. Where is that? I'm like, shit, that's down here. It's going towards San Diego. Like, oh, he from here. Like, yeah. Like, okay, yeah. So, oh yeah, I'm going for him. He from here. Where the other dude from? He from Alabama. Oh no, I ain't going for him.
Why you gotta say Alabama though? You could have said Mississippi. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. But damn, my guy Walt Harris though, man. I think that's 3 straight for him, like you said earlier. I think it's 3 or 4 straight.
Yeah, it's hard to watch that.
Man. Damn, I hate that because I thought he was gonna go on a little run after he knocked out Olenek, man.
Yeah. He got so basically he got to win his next one real quick. Taylor Bell said, "You goddamn right." Yeah, you go for yours. Jay Dixon said, "Facts. I do the same shit when I'm with my people. My people first, no matter what." Yep. Kevin Adams said the same thing. I agree, but I do like certain fighters also. Yeah, if I have a connection to somebody, if one of my students or my one of my professors or one of my teammates or somebody fighting somebody, I might go for them in that fight. But as soon as he not my teammate no more and he done moved to Texas or Florida, yeah, I don't give a fuck if he fighting a brother. I want him to get his head knocked the fuck off. Unless he my homie. You know what I'm saying? And he come and stay at my house or, we eating off the same plate or some shit. Like if he in my peoples, yeah, get his head knocked off. My people's over everything. Everything. Yeah. Cam, you said something too a second ago?
Nah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, DJ.
Okay. Yeah, I heard you talking, DB. It kept cutting in and out, so I guess it was mine.
Yeah, you got that Alabama I'm sorry, you got that Roll Tide. I mean, you got that Southern. I mean, your Wi-Fi just not right.
Get your jokes off. Get them off. Oh, by the way, speaking of jokes, did you have to do that lady like that, man?
Hey, man. Listen, Cam, was you over there too? Was you at the shop?
Nah.
That was DB. That was surgical. You didn't have to do her like that. I saw it coming.
I came after the jokes. I seen everybody roasted in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Watch it. So y'all can talk about it, but I'm gonna catch it.
Cam, it was surgical, man. He said the way he set her up in the question. And see, we've been listening to DB for so long, so we see it coming.
You know it's coming.
I was like, oh my God. As soon as he was like, so you wouldn't want any. So what would you think about if Anthony Joshua got popped for PEDs and what would he be on you pound for pound? She tried to wiggle out of it, but I was like, oh, you already caught, sweetie.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Here come the arm bar. You already there.
Right.
Pinch the knees. Get it. Yeah. And these people that come around and lie, when they lie and they continue to lie, they forget, and then they end up talking to somebody. Now, I don't have to give her the punchline. You understand? As long as we all know, the 300-400 people that's in the shop, as long as we see it and we know, we can just move forward. Same thing I do to Bob Arum, the same thing to Mauricio Suleiman, and also to some of these boxers that come in there and just cannot articulate themselves because they just be with the bullshit. Listen, at the end of the day, for anybody who watches boxing, we can all look and go, oh, Canelo's a pretty good boxer, right? But I wouldn't go so far as to say he was great, right? So when these dudes come in the shop and they just be bug dancing because they think that's the general consensus, they think that's what we want to hear. They think that's what the fans want to hear. So they just keep saying Canelo, Canelo, Canelo. And then you start drilling them and then they start changing their tune. Listen, if that's what you think, then ride with that. That's it. I think Terrence Crawford is extremely talented. But Terrence Crawford just got talent. That's it. He got to prove something else to me. And I want to see him fight. I think Boo Boo Andrade is like one of the best boxers. Like, listen, he's one of the best boxers out there. That's just what it is. So Charlo got to prove something to me. Shit, you ain't nothing if you can't beat Demetrius Andrade. That's it. These dudes got to fight.
I've said that before, man. It says a lot to me when other professionals will go around you. They'll find a way to go around not fighting you. Like a Devin Haney or like a Demetrius Andrade, like a David Benavidez, like a Deontay Wilder. It says a lot to me when fighters will go out of their way not to fight you. Now, I don't necessarily believe that one fighter is afraid to fight another fighter, but I believe you won't let the business of boxing get in the way, or the business period of letting you getting in the way of you fighting that person. Say like, oh, this person hadn't, he asked for this much money. So what? It's a big fight. Let's make it happen. That's the way it should go, right? No, you're not getting that. I'm worth more. I'm worth this. I'm worth that. Don't let the business of boxing block big fights because, like I've said before, I don't think one fighter is afraid to fight another fighter. Like I used my prime example is I don't believe AJ was ever afraid to fight Deontay Wilder. I just think Eddie Hearn knew his fighter was Chinny. Why would I fly him halfway across the world to fight a knockout artist?
But that equates to fear. And I think
not from the fighter himself. I'm talking about the handler, not from the fighter himself.
I also think that AJ was afraid. Now, it's not. See, here's the thing. And AJ said it himself. He was like, I'm afraid to lose because I have too many people depending on me. You remember that? So this is what I think it is. I think he's got power. I think he's a pretty skilled boxer, right? I think he's, relatively smart in there. But it's not necessarily afraid just of getting knocked out. It's afraid of having that loss and your stock going down and you not having the same, you don't have the same reputation anymore. You go in there and you lose 3 out of 4 fights, and once your stock drops and then people are not saying hello to you anymore, they're just looking at you being like, oh, that's that boxer. You know what I mean? I think it's that entire lifestyle, all the attention, all of the what do you call that? All the swag that you get from going to the stores and the free meals, all of that shit disappears, or it's diminished. So I think that's a part of the glitz and glam is a part of what AJ is kind of stuck on, and he didn't want to lose some of that, along with getting your chin knocked off. But yeah, man. But I mentioned before too, like I done been in fights and I done been in the locker room and they like blue corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, Del Negro? You know what I'm saying? Fight number 5. Get ready for your walkout. You know what I'm saying? You get ready for your walkout and they like, yeah, hold on. Like, damn, what happened? Like, yeah, shit, he don't want to come out. Like, what? This bitch made me go through this training camp for nothing. Yeah, but I've also been in the locker room where I've seen dudes 3 in a row. And my brother and my cousin was there with me and witnessed it too. And we looking at each other like, hell no. Like one dude like, no, I don't want to go. Like, don't want to make that walk. Cool. So shit. The other dudes follow suit too. You know what I'm saying? And let me just tell you this. What none of them brothers, I tell you that.
Got it.
I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, one of them a little mixed dude, but shit, he Yeah, he on the other side. And another one's and one is an Armenian, and he's out of the same gym as Ronda and Manny Gamburian and those dudes. Another one's Mexican dude.
Glendale gym.
Yeah. So I've seen it with my own eyes. So when people go, "There's not a fighter afraid of another fighter," and I'm like, no, I don't care. Nobody can't tell me that shit. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it probably about 6 or 7 times in my time as competing, coaching, cornering, and everything. I done seen this shit several times. So I don't believe that, everybody that steps in there is a soldier. No, that's bullshit. Some dudes do it because they've been fighting since they were 3, 4, 5 years old. They have it's what do you call it? It's second nature. It's like breathing, right? They know how to throw the 1-2. They know the combos. They know everything. Everything is there. They got an 8-pack. They've been ripped since they was a little kid. They know everything. They've been doing a tournament. Everything is there. They got all the skill and all of the technique, but they don't have a fucking heart. They heart pump Kool-Aid. So now it's to the point where you're not a little kid and you got somebody in there that's going to break it up and you just get hurt a little bit and you lose on points. Now you got somebody trying to tear your fucking arm off. And these dudes are like, yeah, I don't let these coaches talk me into competing. I don't want this shit. Yeah, so everybody ain't no soldier, no warrior. Yeah, don't believe that. Shit, as a matter of fact, the proof is with AJ and his Andy Ruiz fight. When he was there in New York, he told Eddie Hearn, he was like, I don't feel right. Shout out to Reg. Remember that, Reg? When he was in the backstage and Anthony Joshua's father got into an argument with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, I remember that.
AJ going out.
I remember that. Now, the rumor behind that was that he actually got knocked out in sparring and they didn't want him to go forward with the fight because you remember Andy Ruiz was like, what, the third option? Yeah. After Big Baby Miller fell out, wasn't Andy Ruiz like the third or fourth option in that fight? It's like, just call the fight off, Eddie. It's okay, man. We're going to have to just scrap this because he's been hurt in sparring. He don't feel good about the fight. Let's just scrap it.
Yeah, Reggie said, yep, he had a panic attack. Yep. Yeah. So sometimes my bad. I said sometimes this guy's
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Sometimes this guy's afraid of getting hurt, but then other times it's afraid of them losing everything that they worked for. That's all I was gonna add.
Yeah, I'm about to say I know what's his name's going through it. Tyron Woodley talked about it. Cowboy Cerrone notoriously goes through it. Like some days he'll just be back there. It's like, yeah, man, it's gonna be one of them nights. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it, man. But I'm gonna go out here because I signed on the dotted line. I'm just not up for it right now. And he'll go out there and get finished in the first round. It's like, oh well, when's the next fight? So I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. President Jafar said Tank was crying when Mayweather tried to put him in there with Loma. Y'all forgot? I didn't forget. That's what he said. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember. I didn't see it, but yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yep. I used to put pressure on Tank too. Like, shit, why you not fighting Loma? But the pressure that I really put on is for Gary Russell Jr. Why you not getting your rematch with Loma? Fuck talking about Tank and getting in here talking about Devin Haney. You got a loss to this dude and y'all had a good fight. Why you not? And you say you gotten better and, it's a whole different ball game. You need to go back in there and get your get back. And I always been, that's my only gripe with, but that's my main gripe with Gary Russell Jr. Go in there and get that Loma rematch and to get a little more active. And those two things, man, you would be, imagine Gary Russell Jr. going there, beat Loma, and then also fighting at least, twice a year. His stock goes up in 3 or 4 fights. Way up. Got the talent, just, I don't know what it is.
I don't know why he hadn't moved up yet, man. It's just, you sitting there holding that belt at 126 when the other champions have shown you that they're not going to fight you in that weight class. So why are you just sitting there holding on to that belt? Move on and find some new blood, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Taylor Bill said, what would it take for Boo Boo Andrade to fight GGG or Charlo? The promoters, the networks. What do we do if these fighters don't want to fight? Man, I'm gonna let you and Cam, y'all could jump on that one. I don't know. I'm at my wit's end. I think that we could say that such and such hasn't fought anybody. So, and I'll just say this, and then I'll let y'all take over from that. Does Canelo want to fight Andre? Yes or no?
I don't believe he does.
Okay. Did he say that he wants to fight him, or did he say he didn't want to fight him?
Said that he didn't want to fight him.
Right. He said he's never going to fight him. Right.
Yeah,
he said he's never going to fight him.
Right.
He said, I have other plans. I don't like his style. He just wants to payday. That faggot shit. And then he's like, I'm never gonna fight that guy. So that's it. Okay. What about Triple G? Does Triple G want to fight Demetrius Andrade?
Judging by his actions, no. I mean, they've been on the same side. I'm using air quotes. They've been on the same side of the street for a few years now, and that fight still hadn't materialized. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Remember Fable Sanchez was his manager, and they asked about the fights with Andrade and asked about the fights with Charlo. And what did he say? He said, nah, we're not worried about those guys. Black fighters don't sell. Remember that? I
don't remember that, but
okay. Well, I'm pretty sure the chat remembers that. Okay. Does Jamal Charlo want to fight him?
No, I think we all know why.
Okay, cool. Oh man, he pulled out of a fight with my brother 15 years ago. I'm never gonna fight that guy. Right?
Right. Cool. Yeah, they need to let that shit go, man.
Okay, cool. So those are the three biggest fights, right?
That's a fact.
Okay, cool. So when somebody says he hasn't fought anybody, then you bring those three things right to their plate. So you can't say that he didn't fight anybody. What is he supposed to do at this point?
Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and it was like, well, Canelo offered Andrade a contract. I was like, when did he offer him the contract? When he said he was a boring fighter and he didn't want to fight him at 154? Or was it one of them Caleb Plant offers when he tried to offer Caleb Plant to fight 5-6 weeks out?
Right.
So I need to know what kind of offer it was.
Yeah.
Was it a real offer, or was it just one of those offers just to say you offered him? And I offered him. He turned down the fight.
Yeah, what they call that, a crack deal. He offered him a crack deal. So he offered him shit money, probably a catch weight, fighting, fighting in Jalisco. And your temperature got to be at, 99.7. Otherwise, we can't fight you. So you got to stay in a sauna and get a fucking fever before the fight. But Jay Dixon said, I'm done begging fighters to take good challenging fights. Yep. Kevin Evans said nope about those fights. President Jafar said Canelo say he want to fight Jamal now and after he beat Plant. He saw Jamal out there looking like shit, fighting against somebody who was supposed to be a charioteer, who he's supposed to take care of. And again, in true Canelo fashion, he's ready to fight somebody who had a lackluster performance or coming off of a loss. That's what he does. Let's see. Robert Brown said Canelo about to take another tour of the UK. Yep, he's the one of the best fighters out of the UK. Kevin Evans said he's scared of Andre, looking for Charlo after his last fight. Yep. President Jafar said Canelo see weakness, blood in the water. LOL. Yeah, I mean, shit. That Charlo did that to himself, So now we should see what happens. Listen, I still want to see the fight. I don't care how bad he looked. I still want to see him get down.
That's a fact.
We've been hearing this for years and years. Styles make fights and shit. Maybe Jamal might get up for that one and shit really do his thing. But he's got the athleticism. He can go in there and touch Canelo and hurt him and then get his confidence and do something. Kevin Evans said GGG no also. Box fan said, yep, I remember that. Jay Dixon said absolutely. Kev said facts, but who sells then? Yeah, black fighters don't sell.
I was just about to say that, J.A. Dixon. I was just about to say that. I thought about that a few days ago. It's like because David Benavidez's next fight is a WBC title eliminator, so he'll become Canelo's mandatory after he takes care of Uzataki. After he takes care of him. It's like, okay, this is real simple. Next May, Cinco de Mayo weekend, Mexico City, Estadio Azteca, Canelo and David Benavidez.
I'm with it.
That's so easy to make. That's so easy to make. Take my money. But definitely Charlo and Demetrius Andrade need to fight October 30th. I've been saying that since April.
Sign me up for that. I'm with that. I'm with that
Man,
all day.
Man. These fights should be so easy to make.
Let me tell you, this is crazy. The guys between 160.
Business and pride get in the way, man.
Yeah, the guys between 160 and 168. When they're at 160, they're talking about they big for the division. They don't know how long they're going to stay. They'll move up. And then somebody else end up moving up before they do. And it's like, damn, was this the person you were running from at 160? Now you want to move to 168, but now I'm a true middleweight. I'm not a light heavy. I'm not this. I'm not that. Like, man, are you? And again, this is why every time I get to interview these dudes, I start asking them about their weight. And y'all got to keep reminding me to keep asking these dudes too. Like, listen, how long can you maintain this weight? So when they get out there and start acting like a hoe, shit, we can call them on it and be like, nah, this dude told us to our face, over the phone. But like, this dude told us this is what it is. So yeah, I don't have to listen to a report come from another YouTube channel or to or Kevin Iole or one of these weirdos. They told us directly that they were going to stay at this weight for 5 more fights. They had 1 fight. Now they talking about moving. Like, man, these dudes be running from each other.
That's a fact.
So, but yeah, David Benavidez and Canelo, shit, yeah, sign me up. I'm ready for that. Yeah. Let me see.
So chances Triple G are retired now that they're pushing him to fight Andrade.
Say again, DJ. I didn't hear you.
I said chances that Triple G either moves up or retires now that they're pushing him to fight Andrade.
Shit. Probably retire. Yeah, because if he moves up, look who he's got to fight. True. Who we just talked about.
True enough.
Yeah, shit. You got a tall, young, warrior. That's right there waiting for his ass. Shit. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So let me ask y'all this. I was asking the other day. So if Demetrius Andrade does not get one of those 3 fights, if he cannot get the Charlo fight, if he cannot get Canelo, or if he cannot get Triple G in his next 2 fights, who should those 2 fights be against? Reg, where you go? Let me try to say it again. If Demetrius Andrade cannot get Canelo, Triple G, or Charlo, who should his next 2 fights be against? If he can't get none of those 3 for his next 2 fights.
I mean, it's crazy that he's in a situation where he probably have to call out his number 1 contender in Jaime Munguia, but that could be an option. Or he could move up and fight one of the Durrell brothers. I don't know how close they are, if they're close at all. He could fight them, or I don't know. I'd have to look at the rankings. Because the logical explanation for me, if he can't unify at 160, would be to move up and go after Canelo. That's my answer.
Cam, what you think? Let's see, Robert Brown.
Who this you were saying?
I said if Demetrius Andrade cannot get the 3 big fights, if he cannot get Canelo, if he cannot get Charlo, or if he cannot get Triple G, because those are the 3 biggest fights, right? If Demetrius Andrade can't get those 3 big fights, who should his next 2 fights be against? where people are not going to say, man, he's not fighting nobody, because obviously he's going to press conferences, he's talking shit on the internet, he's trying to get the fights made, but these guys are not fighting them. And then
Caleb
we
Plant,
pretend like we don't see.
Is that the same weight class, Caleb Plant?
No, Caleb's at 160, 168. So no, that's a weight class above.
Okay.
But that could be one. I don't think Demetrius Andrade is against fighting at 168. He mentioned it a couple of months ago.
Yeah. He probably got to chase down. I think I've been seeing a lot of people in the chat saying I probably agree with it. He got to chase down a fight that they're not taking and then try to draw him out that way.
Yeah, let me see. Jay Dixon said Eubanks or Willie Monroe Jr. Damn, Willie Monroe. I don't think he ranked nowhere. Jay Dixon, I don't know if he was being funny on that Willie Monroe Jr., but I think Eubanks is an option. Yeah, Kev said Benavidez. Robert Brown said Andre versus Benavidez, then go up to 175 and fight Bivol or better BF. Shit, Rob. Robert Brown putting him through the
Rob trying to kill him, man.
Damn, Rob. Shit.
Yeah, hold on, let me look at the chat. Danny Jacobs, but him and Danny Jacobs cool, ain't they? Ain't they friends? They had the same trainer or something like that.
Yeah. What is his damn name? Andre Rozier. He's their godfather or something like that. So yeah, they said that they wouldn't fight each other. Yeah. Kev said he said no Canelo. Jay Dixon said if he still has his shit. Okay. The word separated. If he still has his WBO belt, then he can petition to fight the 168 WBO champ. Yeah. I heard that's what the WBO does, which is one of the reasons why Terrence Crawford got a chance to come up from 140 to 147 and fight Jeff Horn, because if you're the champion with the WBO belt, yeah, you can do that. So,
same thing with Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring.
Excuse my.
I mean, he had to fight an interim title fight first just to stay busy, but he was already the mandatory.
Yeah. What you say, Cam?
WBO, yeah, he was the WBO champ at 126 before he moved up, so that's why he got fast tracked to the front of the line.
So, and excuse my ignorance on this, but Andrade, he has a belt right now.
Yeah, he's the WBO champion.
Oh wow, and he's okay. So I'm not knowing So Canelo did all that, and he's a champion.
Oh yeah, ducking the champion. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's why it's so egregious, man. Because Andrade has been a champion at two different weight classes with Canelo. He was the WBO champ at 154 when Canelo was there, and he was also the WB champ at 160 when Canelo was there. And Canelo had 3 of the belts, and all he needed was Andrade's belt to be undisputed. And we all know what happened. He franchised himself. Well, the WBC franchised him. And then he went up to 175 to fight what's his name? Kovalev.
So
remember Mauricio Sulaiman said he petitioned for that though.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like
So who has
Say it again, Cam?
Does Jamal have 2 of those belts? And then he has 1?
No,
Jamal has 1.
Jamal only has 1 also? Oh, he has the WBC, the green one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jamal has 1, Andrade has 1, Golovkin has 1, and the other one is Golovkin has the WBA Super, and then Murata has the WBA Regular, and damn, who's IBF? Who's IBF?
No, IBF is Triple G. IBF is Triple G.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Triple G has the IBF. Murata is the Super champion. And I think Lara is the regular champion at 160.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, yeah. I don't know. I thought Jaime Munguia had a piece of a belt.
Jaime Munguia, if he is, he's like the interim WBO or the interim WBC champion because he's the number 1 contender for 2 different sanctioning bodies, and he won't take the fight.
Yeah, I think he was the IBO champion. And
yeah, IBO. That's it. Yeah. That's that JB belt he's got.
Yeah, and also what's the De La Hoya's what's their thing called? The magazine?
Ring magazine.
Ring, yeah, and he's the ring champion, I believe, something like that. But
Yeah.
okay, President Jafar, yeah, Murata's the WBA super. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and he said 154, not 147. Yeah, President Jafar said, how did Andre not get his Billy Joe Sanders match after suspension? He was, but then Canelo offered him the fight. He was going to get the Billy Joe Sanders fight, but then Canelo took that. So, of course, Billy Joe Sanders went for the money. And, yeah, and he ended up fighting Canelo. So, it just sucks, man. These dudes, they do it. And then if he wanted to fight against Billy Joe Sanders now, and they would go, oh, well, Canelo already beat him. So, it's like a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation with these fighters. You know, they gotta be aggressive as hell.
So now
They gotta be.
Y'all just took me somewhere with that. So technically, Jermell really could move up to 160 and try to go get a belt without having to fight his brother for a while, and then his brother would have time to keep trying to get another belt and then move up himself.
Yeah, shit, he can move up and get 3 belts without fucking with his brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Because I'm looking at the moves he's making and things, and then seeing how people saying, well, Earl said himself he's got 2 more fights at the most. So I've just been watching that little, see how that's gonna unfold. But okay, that makes sense.
And Fred asked Earl, he was like, "Are you and Jamel and Jamal all moving up together?"
Right.
He was like, "I don't know what they doing, but
right.
I'm gonna fight Manny. Then I got one more fight at 47. Then I'm moving up. I don't know what they doing."
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, what's going on, H Money? Welcome to the party.
Yo, it's good. Shout out to everybody on the panel. What's going on?
What up, H?
What up, though, DB? What's good?
Feeling
what
good,
up, Cam?
man.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I hear y'all talking this boxing talk, so I had to get a piece of the pie, man. I'm looking forward to the
real
fights.
quick before you cook, man, can you talk about Andre in this situation?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've been supporting Andrade for a very long time, and it's like right now, you know, he's starting to get support of the people, and I like what I see, man. You know, it's hard for him to find a fight, man. This guy is one of the best boxers. We know he's an Olympian. We know that he's a 3-time world champion, 2 different weight classes, and you know he got a lot of skills. Nobody want to fight this dude from Canelo, who is #1 pound for pound, or you know, Triple G, Charlo. Nobody wants smoke with this kid. And I think it has to do with how good he is, with his skill set, his boxing ability. And he can make anybody look bad, man. You know what I mean? He's being robbed from greatness right now. He's being robbed from his opportunity. And which fighter will step up and give him a chance? You know, who's going to step up and fight him? I don't think Charlo going to fight him. I don't think Triple G want to fight him. He's in a bad situation, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can get a big fight. You know, Eddie Hearn got to deliver for his fighters. He been down with Eddie Hearn since the beginning. I mean, Demetrius Andrade is one of the first American fighters to sign with Eddie Hearn. So Eddie Hearn got to deliver for his fighter. Eddie Hearn, he works with Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders, Daniel Jacobs. You got all these people under your umbrella with Matchroom Boxing, or they on the zone. Which fighter gonna step up and fight? You know, that's the question. Eddie Hearn got to step up to the plate for his fighter, man. Because you know you can just sign him and give him a lot of money, but you know what about legacy? You know what I mean? When Andrade retires, we want to remember his name. We want him to go into the Hall of Fame. He wants to be a legend, and Eddie Hearn is not delivering. Eddie Hearn criticized Charlo. He said, "Charlo, you on the PBC? What the fuck are you doing over there? We got all the middleweights on the zone. Well, Andrade signed with you, and you can't find him a fight." So I don't think it's fair, man. I really don't think it's fair. He's being robbed from greatness. You know, he's in the prime of his career, and he still can't find a fight. He's 33 years old, and nobody want to fight him. And you know what they say? Demetrius Andrade is high risk, low reward. My answer to that is this guy's a 3-time world champion. He's undefeated. He will be the best win on your resume when you retire, Charlo. You know what mean? So I don't want to hear none of that shit talking about high risk, low reward. Canelo had a chance to be undisputed and fight this man. You know what I mean? But he didn't want it. Now he talking about he want to be undisputed at 168. Where was that energy at 160 when you had a chance to fight Boo Boo? You know, so I mean, I don't think it's fair, man. You know, I hope he get a chance, man, so he can display his talent, so he can show the world what type of fighter that he is. But it takes two to tango, you know, and he can't find an opponent right now, man. That's what it's looking like. Maybe somebody from 154 will move up and fight him. You know, maybe that's what's gonna have to happen. You know, so that's what it's looking like right now. But I don't think it's fair, man. Eddie Hearn got to do his job, bro. I mean, it's not enough just paying these guys a lot of money so you can shut them up. You know what I mean? Nah. Get them those big fights that you're trying to get for Anthony Joshua. Get them those big fights you're trying to get for Canelo. You know what I mean? Because Devin Haney, man, he's waiting for a big fight too. Now, Eddie Hearn got to deliver for Devin Haney. He got to deliver for Demetrius Andrade, man, because he got these fighters on the shelf, man. Well, what I see from Eddie Hearn is all about Anthony Joshua and Canelo. What about Haney? Haney, who signed with you and took a chance with you and signed with DAZN when DAZN was new. What about Haney and Andrade, man? I don't think it's fair, man, to be honest. All these offers he talking about, I sent Charlo $7 million and all of that. I mean, shit, if you sent them to 7, you know, I mean, why would he turn it down? Was that $7 million real? You know what I mean? Was it real? I don't know. You know, because when it came to making the fight with Wilder and Joshua, for some reason those fights didn't happen. Eddie Hearn ain't delivered with one legacy fight, man. You know what I mean? That will say Joshua and Klitschko, but Klitschko was way past his prime. Fury already destroyed him. You know what I mean? So he beat a washed up Klitschko who came out of retirement, and they said, "Oh, that's his legacy fight." Or Andy Ruiz versus Joshua. The only reason that fight was big because Andy Ruiz shot the world. Nobody thought Andy Ruiz gonna win that fight. That fight wasn't big until AJ lost to Andy Ruiz, man. So that's how I feel, DB. Eddie Hearn got to deliver, man. The pressure is on Eddie Hearn, man.
Yeah, true statements. Now, what do you think about what's happening with Triple G and him being forced to fight competitive fights and fight against champions? Otherwise, they're not going to pay him.
Should have been like that from the beginning. You know, it should have been like that. He got a plenty of tune-up fights. Steve Rose, he fought Steve Rose, and then he just fought another dude his last fight, and I don't even know who the hell that dude was. So he getting about $20 million to fight nobody. That's like the worst contract in the history of boxing, man. They could have ever gave anybody. I think they really signed Triple G so he could do that trilogy with Canelo, but it looked like Canelo lied to him about it, or Golden Boy, whoever lied about that shit. So, you know, he just collecting a lot of money for no reason right now, you know. So, I mean, I hope they put him in one of those fights. I hope they force him to fight a Demetrius Andrade. Why not? It's a unification bout, man. You know, fight him. You know, you getting paid all that money. Andrade hopped in the ring after a Triple G's fight with Derevyanchenko, called him out. Yeah, I'm happy DAZN is doing that. But does it mean he's going to step in the ring with him? I'm not sure. But I like the idea, though.
Yeah, this is similar to what they did with Canelo when Canelo was over there making $35 million a fight and having these. I mean, I don't know if the performances were lackluster, but at least the opposition was, you know, it wasn't the elite competition. And they end up paying all of these massive dollars out to a dude to have him there, thinking that they would get this revenue, getting a return on their investment by having big pay-per-views and big live gates and whatnot. And Canelo didn't pull through, so they're starting to do the same thing. And I mentioned this to Fred earlier. I'm like, I don't think the big name fighters, if they're scary, if they are cherry pickers and ducks, I don't think they'll fight with DAZN, because after a while, after 3 or 4 fights, DAZN is going to start saying, "Hey, listen, we're paying you these big dollars, and now you got to deliver and put big names. You know, you got to take the risk to get this reward, and you got to go out there and fight these champions." And usually that equates to them running away from the younger, more athletic, more explosive, more diverse black fighters. Those are the guys who are usually getting avoided. in all weight classes from from the 118s all the way up to the to the super heavyweights. But I like the move by DAZN. I just don't like the representation coming out of Eddie Hearn's mouth because he's a slickster and he tells a lot of lies. But I like what DAZN is doing by putting pressure on these on their premier fighters. So they're paying them all this money. But Triple G is in his late 30s now. I believe he's probably, if he could get away, if he would have been able to get away with it, I think he would have taken probably about 3 or 4 more fights. Now with this pressure on him, I think Cam asked the question earlier, or DJ, what is he going to do? Does he move up or does he retire? I think he'll probably be able to take this Murata fight since it's already signed, I believe. You guys can correct me on that if I'm wrong. The Murata fight is signed, and I think he has a tune-up fight before that, I believe. So those 2 fights, if those 2 fights are signed, I think he takes those 2 fights. He's still going to make the big money that they offered him, which is probably like $15 or $20 million a fight, something crazy. That's enough money for him to go back to Kazakhstan. I mean, he's already bought a house, a big old house out here in LA. I'm sure he's got tons of property out there in Kazakhstan or wherever. And he can ride off into the sunset, and have this crazy record where he's got a bunch of knockouts. He's got a high winning percentage. He fought against Canelo. He made a lot of money doing that. One was controversial. A lot of us think that he won the fight, but that's his legacy, and he's okay with that. Anyway, I won't say unprecedented, but I think it was a good move by DAZN. And I would like to see Triple G at least take 2 competitive fights, before he walks away from the sport. I do hear a lot of young fighters that have been in camps with him. They say that he's really good. They say that he teaches them a lot. So I like that part of it. And Reggie's always talking about fighters that are getting old or retired, giving back to the sport. So I appreciate that part. But he's got to do more while he's still active. If you're an active fighter, you got to fight. And if you're holding the belt, then you have to fight top competition or you have to fight other champions. The goal is to unify, become undisputed. And if you are outgrowing that weight class, then you can go up and do it again. If you're not outgrowing that weight class, you can stay at one weight. That's fine. But you still have to fight elite level competition.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just learned something about Andrade too a couple days ago. He was actually being trained by Virgil Hunter early in his career. I didn't know that. Virgil Hunter trained Andrade like early in his career, and we know he trained Andre Ward. So it's pretty nice.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know that too. That's news to me as well. Wow. So he spent some time over here.
I don't think he had any fights signed. I think that's why the pressure is being put on him now. I think him and Murata were both supposed to fight. They had this plan where they were gonna fight
in Asia.
Yeah, they had this plan where they were gonna fight in Asia at the end of the year for some Asian holiday that I don't know anything about. But they were gonna fight at the end of the year. That was their plan. But they were both supposed to have tune-up fights. They were supposed to be on the same schedule, fighting tune-up fights, from what I've heard. And now DAZN has come out and said, no, we're not paying you to fight cab drivers anymore. If you want to unify at the end of it, if you want to sit out and wait and unify with Murata at the end of the year, that's fine. But you're not going to fight a tune-up fight in between that. If you're going to fight anybody between that, it's going to have to be Demetrius Andrade. That's my understanding of it. I'm paraphrasing what they're saying.
Yeah, I just seen an interview by Eddie Hearn, I think it was like 2 days ago, where Eddie Hearn was saying, Charlo is ducking Andrade and Munguia is ducking him, but he didn't say shit about Triple G ducking him, though. You know what I mean? Like, you putting this pressure on Munguia. Of course, Munguia is the mandatory, but, I mean, we know Munguia is only like 22 years old, and his team feel like he's not ready for Andrade. You know what I mean? So if they come out and they say that, I understand they don't want no smoke. Charlo is on the other side of the street. Charlo is with the PBC. You know what I mean? We want Charlo to fight him, but if it don't happen, why not make that fight with Triple G? I don't see Eddie Hearn putting pressure on Triple G to fight Boo Boo. I think after Andrade's last fight against Liam Williams, he said something like Triple G's waiting the whole year to fight Murata. He should fight Andrade, but I heard him say that once. But he's always got Charlo name in his mouth, talking about Charlo and Andrade. I agree. I want to see that fight, but it's like he don't have that same energy for Andrade fighting Triple G. Like hey, my mic fucked up, y'all.
Yeah. You say that last part again.
Yeah, I was saying Eddie Hearn is like he has no energy to make this fight between Demetrius Andrade and Triple G. It's like he wants to make the Charlo fight, Charlo versus Andrade, but I don't hear him keeping that same energy for Andrade versus Triple G. That's all. I think Eddie Hearn should do his job, put some pressure on Triple G to make that fight, man.
Yeah. Let me run through the chat real quick. Let me see. We got let me see. Robert Brown said, "Eddie Hearn lied out of his ass though. When would a promoter call a fighter that's not his own and offer money? You got to go through the proper channels." Yeah, that's true, Rob. And then Kevin Evans said he needed to fight Andrade also. It's crazy. Kev also said Canelo, GGG should fight Andrade. I'll take Charlo, but these dudes should have fought Andrade. Yep. Jay Dixon said they said that shit and they said that shit to Canelo, and then he wanted to turn around and fought Yildirim and Caleb Smith. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a great point, Jay Dixon. DAZN did put pressure on him to fight some people.
Great point. Didn't he sue them for that? Didn't he sue them for that? Or was it just Golden Boy he sued?
No, he sued Golden Boy, and he won that case right there. Yeah. But yeah, just suing these guys for the ability to duck and play matchmaker, with his own career. So let me see. President Jafar said GGG don't have Canelo clout though, and he said Clenbuterol Nello got real clout. Jay Dixon said he kind of does though. He's got equity in the company. So Triple G has equity in DAZN. Is that what it is? Or Matchroom or whatever?
Well, yeah, they ain't gonna do shit then. They ain't gonna do shit to him. It's all talk then. If he got equity in the company, no, they ain't gonna do shit to him.
Yeah. Got it. Man.
That's why that man can tell y'all I'm not fighting all year. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jay Dixon also said, I think Triple G and Dude were supposed to fight New Year's Eve in Tokyo or something. Yeah, that's what it is. I just know it was in Asia and it was around December. So yeah, that makes sense though. DAZN doesn't have have doping rules. They don't? Oh yeah, Dillian White. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And now you hear
let's see. Yeah, basically, Robert Brown said, yeah, basically a partner. Yeah, man, we just got to see fights made. But for the people that wasn't here a little while ago, man, and I mentioned it too. Shout out to Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is booked for August 27th at the Hard Rock Cafe, Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. The date and the venue booked. They're just waiting on her opponent. So after that fight, then she's got 2 mandatories that she's got to satisfy in boxing. And then after that, she can head back to MMA. So I think she's pretty much booked for the year with 1 more MMA fight and 2 boxing matches. If she can come out victorious, no matter who the opponent is this time, like I said, that's did she take any boxing matches this year? None, right?
I think she had one earlier this year. I'm not sure.
If she did, then that means that she would have 5 fights, 2 MMA and 3 boxing matches in a calendar year, and she would definitely be, on course, on par to be considered for the female athlete of the year. I mean, that's just a phenomenal feat. So shout out to Clarissa Shields for staying active. That's what we want. What else you got, DJ H? What y'all got?
Wasn't that all women's car? Wasn't that about 3 months ago or so?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that was.
I don't remember the date, but I remember
that was in March.
Okay. Oh wow, there it is.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, she fought in March. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we were having a conversation here and also on our show. What could she do or what should she do to increase her brand? The first thing is you got to fight. And if she's doing 5 fights in a year's time, again, that's the first thing. One thing that I do, and listen, I know a lot of people don't like to hear, they don't want to hear any criticisms or any critique, and they just want us to say salute to the queen and shout out to Clarissa, but she got to spend some time with her people. Talking to Radio Raccoon is not enough because he doesn't represent us.
I hear you, DB.
Yeah, so that's not it. So she's got to come and spend some time and listen. And she don't got to come talk to me or talk to Fred. I know Fred may be abrasive to people like Clarissa, and I get it. But there's plenty of other people. They can come and talk to Kyle. Kyle's nice to everybody. They can talk to Reggie. There's plenty of people though that represent us in our communities, and I'm not talking about no clique shit. I'm just mean like people that represent our community and how to have a decent and professional conversation with her, to ask the questions that we want to know, and sometimes just to touch down and say, listen, we are the people who are supporting you. We're giving you moral support. We're giving you financial support. So we just want you to reciprocate that same love by coming to our platforms and just answering a couple of questions and touching down. But I think if she does those two things, they'll stay active and just, reach out to someone in our community. I think those two things will boost her up a whole lot. H?
I think he fell off.
H gone.
Okay. All right. He said in and out just like a robbery. Right. Yeah. You got anything to add to that, DJ?
I believe it was Champion Hart saying it a few weeks ago how she needs to start going on these different talk shows like The View or The Real or The Talk and stuff like that, and start, because if you get women behind you, I think they'll really start supporting her, seeing how she comes out to Beyonce and how she's always bigging up Beyonce. I think it'll be great if you start getting some more of these more black female celebrities to start supporting her, like let's say a Queen Latifah or Rihanna or Beyonce. Start getting that crossover appeal towards her. I think her stock will go through the roof.
Yeah, I agree.
Which she should have already had that support coming out of the Olympics, like all the support that the good sister Simone Biles is getting, and now you see what's the sprinter's name, Sha'Carri Richardson. You see the support that she's getting. I believe Clarissa should have been getting that same kind of heat coming out of the Olympics, and she didn't.
Yeah, I think they will probably talk about humility a bit. And listen, I believe as a combat athlete, you can be. I'm okay with somebody being cocky and whatnot. But you got to be able to come down off your high horse a bit, and I know she can be a little coarse and a little grainy. She can be acerbic a bit, kind of. And that's cool to have a strong personality.
Hold on. Say that last word again.
Acerbic.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Basically, like word of the day either. Just saying.
Okay. Well, let that be the word of the day then. Acerbic.
Yeah. I went ahead. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
ACERBIC.
Yeah. See, got another word of the day from DB. A word of the week from DB.
Yeah. But you can use that and relate that to Clarissa Shields in her personality, and I think that may be something that we can deal with, but the other people are not as strong as we are, so they can't deal with it. So they're like, yeah, this is too much of a diva for us to spend any time on. But I think now, again, with her accomplishing what she's accomplishing, again, if she goes in and she has the kind of year that we're talking about, they're not gonna have no choice but to talk to her. So
President Jafar, I agree with that 100%. Go on Champ's side. He is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
He's probably her biggest supporter, man. So it should be automatic that she does an interview with him. Yeah, go on Champ's side. Come on here to the boxing section. Go on Blue Blood show. Just come talk to us.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Can't say
they're
she's a
watching. I've
stylist in my
seen that
opinion.
now, man. Fred's been talking about that, and I really see that now. These other outlets are really watching, man. They're
Yeah.
really watching, and these athletes are really watching.
Everybody's watching the barbershop right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that.
Every
Appreciate
time I
that.
look at some boxing, I
Yeah,
see
man.
somebody typing in there. I'm like, oh man, ESPN quoting it up and down.
Yeah,
right.
I love it. I love it.
When Max Kellerman was had to quote y'all, and then that man, I believe that night Arrow called into the show. It took it to a whole nother stratosphere, man. I was like, wait, hold on, because I was at work at the time. I was like, hold on, is that the champ?
It was so organic too.
Yeah, it was so crazy because Fred was just talking about him, and he said, hold on, Texas, let me finish," because he saw the area code. So he's like, "Hold on, Texas, let me finish this thought." And then he said something. He was like, "Yeah, but Earl, like that's my dude." And then EJ listening, like, "Wait, do you even know who you on the phone with?"
Man,
right.
Great.
Fred, you don't even know who this is. I was like,
Errol.
Like, this is Errol. I was like, oh hell, Errol drunk.
No, he wasn't. He was chilling. No, he wasn't drunk. He was chilling.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, my man feeling good tonight. Went on ahead and called in.
Yeah, shout out to EJ, man. But those are the things, though. And so if Clarissa can just, adapt to some of those things and adopt some of those things that these dudes are doing, I think that'll definitely increase her likability and make her a more amicable person and an athlete. And it'll grow her. It'll grow her brand. So, we shall see. President Jafar said Clarissa ain't clapped back yet. Clap back at.
There's one more up above that.
Let me see. Didn't Jessica McCaskill say that she would follow Clarissa to MMA and whoop her? Oh, all right, Jessica. Well, shit, let's see. What kind of background you got, Jess? Shit, you can't wait because you wait. Clarissa gonna be working on leg kicks and rear naked chokes. Yeah, but come on to MMA and get that smoke if you want to. Yeah.
I say because I had no clue. Who that was. Hold on, let me look her up real quick.
H Money back. What it is, man?
What I sound like now is good.
You good?
Yeah, you good. It was good the first time.
Family.
Okay, yo. I was gonna say some. DJ, you made a great point earlier. Talking about Clarissa Shields and matchmaking. They need to match her up with somebody that's gonna stand and bang with her. Somebody that's gonna stand and strike with her. I felt like they should have never put her in there with a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think that was good matchmaking. You feel me? Like, if she gonna keep doing this shit, they got to do it the right way. They gonna have to put her in there with like a kickboxer or somebody that's gonna stand up and box with her, and throw hands with her. I don't want to see her go up in there with another black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They got to build her up. You know what I mean? I don't think that was a good first fight. To be honest with you, that's what my brother said. I was talking to my little brother about it, and he said if she gonna keep doing this shit, they got to match her up with somebody that's gonna stand and strike with her. Because I was leaning towards her going back to boxing. I was like, maybe she should just quit this shit. But if they match her up the right way, it could be a good idea. But they gotta do a good job matching her up, man. That shit was whack. She could have lost that fucking first fight. She just got so much heart. She's a pure fighter, and she came out on top. But I don't want to see her lose in that in the PFL. I don't want to see her lose in mixed martial arts, man, because that's what they want. If she would have lost that fight, man, it would have been all over the fucking internet, all over the world. They would have been talking about that shit. That's like Floyd Mayweather taking a loss or something. She's the Floyd Mayweather of women's boxing, So I'm just like looking out for her, her benefit, man. Like, they got to do a better job in the PFL, man, matching her up. That's what I think. I agree with DJ.
All right. I don't think it's the company's mission. I don't think it's their objective. I don't think it's their goal to give fighters light touches and easy work. It's about contrasting styles, and their goal is to make the best stylistic matchups. So they can't go striker versus striker and just grappler versus grappler. In that case, the fights would be a lot more technical. And if fights were that technical, then people wouldn't tune in because it would be too much for the naked eye to catch. So they have to do something where it's a person that's, a grappler versus striker is like usually the fights that we all see, and say who's got the skill and the will to pull out the W. So, it's not the PFL's issue. Like it's the person's, it's their goal. It has to be their initiative, their goal. They have to find a way to get better at their craft, and it wasn't a setup. It wasn't, they didn't set Clarissa up. They didn't want her to lose. They didn't want her to win. They just set up the fight, and if she does fight, she's not going to move the needle like that. She's got to go on a tear. She's got to win 5 or 6 fights in a row, and she's got to finish some of those fights like she did with this fight. And then if she gets the finishes, then she'll start to move the needle. And then at that point, they can start to they may give her like 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 light touches to get her closer to the title, because they'll make have a big event. But like in a case like this, where it's just two basic like novice, entry level fighters or fighter versus a mid level opponent, yeah, it's just going to be what it is. So, but she needs these things. She needs to be able to go through the fire and to be able to have some adversity and overcome it, because that's what's going to make her stronger. So, but we shall see, man. Still, she's not in a tournament, so she's not going to fight the elite people. So, having a grappler will help her to get mentally stronger too, and help her with, overcoming that sort of adversity. But having a striker that's going in there, we already know that she got amazing hands. She's a 2-time gold medalist in the Olympics, so she doesn't necessarily need that work. It'll make it an easier fight for her, so to speak. But yeah, I just think, man, just book the opponents and let her fight and let her get better, and that'll help her. She cannot get into 2 or 3 easy touches, light touches, tomato cans and whatnot, and then get into a fight with somebody like a Kayla Harrison, and then it's just going to be everybody's worst nightmare. So she's, it's got to be a step above or a cut above in competition each fight.
Hey, DB, you know how they doing in boxing? You match up a new fighter with some bums and shit. Help them get their wins up. That's what I'm thinking. Like, help her get some wins. Get some experience. But if you match her up the wrong way, man, it could be bad. It almost happened in that first fight. But she showed a lot of heart, and I like what I saw from her. But that shit is dangerous, man. This shit is not boxing. Like, they could just take her down, and it could be problems right there. As soon as she go down, she really didn't know what to do fighting from her back. So this shit is crazy, man. Like when Kimbo Slice, when he came to Strike Force, they kind of matched him up like with some easy fights. People wasn't really taking him down and shit like that. So if they could do something like that, but you are the expert, so I definitely respect what you're saying. But I think DJ was saying like pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So and to me, it all depends on what the PFL's plan with her is. Are y'all trying to groom her into the next champion, or are y'all just trying to get eyeballs on to y'all's promotion and make some money? So if you're really trying to groom her into being the next champion, by this time next year she should be in the tournament, correct?
True.
So it comes to a point. Are y'all just gonna let her take fights, or do y'all want her to actually be a champion and progress in the sport? So that's why I said, if you want her to actually progress in the sport, you're gonna have to put her in there with some fan friendly fights to get the fans on her side, to get more of a buzz, because having a girl, whereas we see it as proper technique, the casual fan who's, Clarissa Shields fighting, or let me turn over to the PFL. And then they turn over to it and they see this girl laying on her for 2 rounds because Brittany wasn't doing no damage. But you see this girl laying on her for 2 rounds, it's going to turn fans off to the sport and not want to watch her fight. So that's why I said put her in there with a more fan-friendly matchup if you're really trying to groom her to be the next champion. Now, as she wins 2 or 3 of those fights in a row, then you start laying down the gun. Okay, no more fucking around. You've gotten your feet wet. You've gotten a fair assessment of where your skills are. Now we're really finna start testing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think every fighter's got work to do, so I won't just put that on her. I think that all fighters have work to do, even the best in the business. So, yeah, let's just hope that she continues to grow, man. And with her taking these boxing matches, she stay active and her keep her weight in check. I think somebody asked, President Jafar asked, she's fighting at 145. So, yeah, and then the last thing, man, is here. I just want to go through this card real quick. I know we'll get a chance to talk about it a little later, but the Poirier versus McGregor 3 card, that's on July 10th, Saturday, and I believe that's in Vegas. But the main event is Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor in the trilogy. Conor won the first one about 7-8 years ago, and then Poirier just won the last one a few months ago. And the co-main event is going to be Gilbert Burns. I believe he's either the number 2 or number 3 welterweight, and he's fighting against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Wonderboy.
Yeah, and Wonderboy's ranked number 4. And Tai Tuivasa is in the co-main against Greg Hardy. 2 heavy hitters. I don't think neither one of those guys will be looking to grapple. They're just going to throw a whole bunch of heavy shots, and somebody's going to fall. Man, it's tough because Greg Hardy, man, listen, he's a natural born athlete. No matter what he's doing, he's going to be top level in terms of like the physical stuff. But Tai Tuivasa is he hits hard, man. He just reminds me of a little lesser version of the Super Samoan Mark Hunt. He's got heavy hands and he doesn't have to connect directly to get you to fall. But that's going to be a nice bang-em-out fight. Irene Aldana, who just lost to Holly Holm. Well, not just, but that was about a year ago, as a matter of fact. I don't know if she had a fight since then, but she's ranked number 4. She was ranked number 2 at the time, and she's fighting against what's Maheta's wife name?
Yana Kunitskaya.
Yana Kunitskaya. Yeah, they fighting, so that'll be a good one. 4 and 5. I'll take Irene Aldana in that fight. Yeah, she's strong, and I think according to her, she was compromised in the Holly Holm fight, but she's very aggressive. And Yana is like a points fighter, so yeah, I'll take Irene so far. And then Sean O'Malley versus Luis Smoka. Smoka is he's one of those dudes look like a 12-year-old kid, but he could fight his ass off. He's not scared. He'll get in there with just about anybody. And he's fighting against Tekashi 6ix9ine of MMA, Sean O'Malley. And,
man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I'm definitely pulling for Luis Smoka in this one right here, so we could just get the show on the road and continue fighting as usual and stop the circus. But what you think about that card right there, DJ, and who's some of your picks in H?
I think it's a loaded card, man. I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley in that Luis Smoka fight. I think how many fights has Luis Smoka had at 135 since moving up from flyweight? Oh, I'll have to check that. I'll have to check that out later. But yeah, I'm going with O'Malley in that fight, man. And then you got Condit and Max Griffin on that card too. I don't know what I don't know what Condit has left in the tank, so I'm gonna go with Max Griffin. This will probably be Condit's last fight. I think this is his last fight on his UFC contract. So Oh man, really
Max
bummed
gonna
out.
put a California beating on him, just so you know that.
I'm really bummed out about Kevin Lee not being on this card anymore, man. That was some rough news.
Yeah.
Oh man. Because I was looking forward to seeing how he came back, and was he still out there with Faraz? No, he moved back to Dallas. He came to Dallas.
Yeah, but he's been in Vegas. He was in Vegas with Dewey a couple of weeks ago. So
okay.
Yeah.
See, I was ready to see what all he had to learn, man. Then you got Trevin Giles on this card. Man, stat card. Which they weren't going to disappoint. Oh, Brad Tavares is fighting against Omar Akhmedov. Oh man, yeah, I'll be rooting for Brad Tavares in that fight, man. I'm going for the American.
Yeah, Brad's just a likable dude, man. He's just one of those dudes that you always root for, unless he's going against your fighter.
Yeah. That was actually, in my opinion, that was Izzy's breakout fight when he pieced up Brad Tavares for 5 rounds.
Yeah, Brad Tavares he's the epitome of the gatekeeper to the top. Not in a bad way, but like if you can't you got to beat Brad Tavares to get to the elite guys in the division.
What do you say? The top 15? You got to beat Brad. You got to beat a guy like Brad Tavares. I don't think he's top 10. I think he's around top 15. He's always. I think the highest he got was like number 8 or so, like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, really solid fighter, man. He just loses to the best guys. He's losing to the Izzies and guys like that on their way up. The Derek Brunsons, the Robert Whitakers. He's losing to guys like that.
And ain't nothing to hold your head down about, man, because those are some great fighters.
Right, great guys. Who else is on this card? Jessica Ide. UFC has not cut her yet. That is amazing.
I don't understand that, but hey.
Oh man, how many fights has she lost in a row? I think she's like won in her last 4 or 5 or something like that. And then she missed weight in the last fight that I saw her in when she fought Cynthia Calvillo.
Yeah, so they can't do nothing with the big ticket. As long as she's there, big ticket got to stay.
Yeah, she's only won 2 fights in her last 5. So
yeah, so Walt Harris got to stay as long as she's there.
That's a fact. Yeah, she lost to Calvillo and Calderwood in her last 2 fights. So it's amazing she's still there. That's crazy. Oh man, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Could have sworn they cut her. But anyway.
All right, let's see. Can you see? I can't see the chat, DJ. Can you see the chat real quick before
Yeah, let me see. Let's see, Kevin, how you say his last name? Abin said still look good.
Yeah.
First fight didn't get submitted on the bottom with the grappler that had more experience and got a KO. But yeah, they saying remember she's a great boxer, starting MMA, great job. Okay, he's got Condit and he's like, I love O'Malley. Yeah, Jay Dixon says I will probably get knocked out again. Then he's talking to Robert Brown, and DJ Black Charm Music says peace, y'all. Yeah. And with that being said, y'all want huh?
No, that's it. Peace, DJ Black Charm.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, y'all want to put a bow on another great show of MMA Thursday?
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you to H jumping on with us. Appreciate you, H. Thanks
man.
to Cam, man.
Yeah, I sure miss chopping it up with y'all brothers. Man, we not gonna agree with everything. I felt like I said what I had to say about the whole Wilder Fury shit, and now I'm just pretty much waiting for the fight, man. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. I think Wilder Fury is the biggest thing in boxing. It's the hottest topic in the sport, man. One thing about Wilder and Fury, when you get these guys together, we get excitement. You know what I mean? And I feel like a Wilder and Fury together really brought back the heavyweight division. You're talking about 3 great fights. 3 legendary fights. We haven't seen this in the heavyweight division since Riddick Bowe and Holyfield. So Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man, they doing a great job. They doing a great job for the sport of boxing. So shout outs to both of them, and may the best man win. You feel me? And like Coach Kevin Cunningham said, if Deontay Wilder can beat Tyson Fury in his third fight, Deontay Wilder will be the biggest thing in boxing. But he got to beat Tyson Fury, man, and that ain't going to be easy, man. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to my brothers, man. It's good to talk to y'all.
Right on. Right. Go ahead and give us a quick bomb squad before you leave, H.
Bomb squad.
Hey, I'm for the song for that one, man. Love, DJ, DB.
Right on.
Man, we couldn't do this without y'all.
Man, can't do it without you,
He let the beats build, bitch, and we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. Well, I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
Hey, H Money, they gonna clip that and send that everywhere.
That's a fact. We need to. Kyle need to.
All right,
man. Peace, y'all. Y'all get some rest, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.